A very good afternoon to you from North Hobart Oval. My name is Tubes Taylor. I'm in the commentary box with my good friend Peachy Roberts, And today is the culmination of season 2021. It all comes together now. It is Cygnet versus the Huonville Lions. And Peach, what a contest we're in for today.
Biggest rivalry in Tasmania, you'd think, in football. I mean, the only other rivalry that probably matches this one is Brackville-Longford, maybe. Sorry, I mentioned something about the North. Maybe North West Coast. Fine. To be fair, Devonport-Ulverstone over the years have had a pretty horrid rivalry. But yeah, this is the biggest in community football. And it's been building all week in the Valley. As a lot of these guys know each other quite well. And that would have been a fair bit of chirping back and forth on the socials. But now it's all about today. And it's about Huonville, fourth grand final. Cygnet losing last year in that epic battle in the Grease, which I think was, you and I were here, and it was an amazing game of football. But Cygnet have had the edge for most of the year, as they did in the second semi, which you called down at Cygnet. However, it took a while for Cygnet to get on top that day.
Yeah, it was. It was an electric start. It was 30-50 at quarter time in favour of the Lions, and they clawed their way back, Cygnet, as they've tended to do all season. They've got a lot to play for today. No change to their side from last game. However, there is a late change in the Huonville lineup. Out of the side comes Reese Ward, and Dylan Hay comes in as an emergency. The changes from last time they played, in comes Tim Lamprell and my man, Tristan Barnett, the meatball. So, love watching him play. And interestingly, it's going to be Jack Philp coming into the side from last week that defeated Lindisfarne. He's no slouch, that's for sure.
Well, Dylan Hay would have been unlucky to miss out. He kicked a couple of goals in last year's grand final. It wasn't bad last week as well, Dylan, but a bit of a miss for Reese not to be in there, the pretend ruckman. The
half-time ruckman, yeah. Half done. I just want to quickly mention before we get started that the umpires today, Peach, Kim Dillon, Nick Merritt-Smith and Craig Smith. Congratulations to those. And emergency Lindsay Roberts. There they are. We're on camera. Hello. Lindsay Roberts is the emergency. 500 games of experience for Lindsay. No doubt he'll get his beacon head out onto the ground at some stage. Congratulations to those folks. It looks like Kim Dillon will be starting the game. So he'll be the one holding the ball aloft there in the middle of North Hobart Oval, Peach. And I tell you what, I've been walking around Hobart for the last few days, all through the state with my business, and I've been asked all around the world, and by the world I mean Tasmania, because that's my world. Yep, and Denver, Colorado. Hello out there. But who's going to win, Tubes? Who's going to win? And honestly, Peach, I cannot tell you. I think
you're sitting on the fence again, Tubes.
No, well, I don't want to make a prediction because I don't want to be seen to be any way biased, because I'm not. I'm commentating the game in front of me. I think, though, if I break it all down just for you, Peach, you've got to go with who's won all the games and who's in form. Now, last time they met, it was a victory to Cygnet, and that was down there, though, on a very heavy ground down at Cygnet Oval. The time before that, they beat them by 100-odd points.
Yeah,
there were a few outs. We can wipe that one out.
Yeah, wipe that one out.
But it's been close matches, and I just know that as we see the Huonville boys about to run out through their flag here, out they come with Dylan, and the boys are ready to go. What's that, an 8-bit song? But they're ready to go. Dylan Hay, as I said, comes into the side. Running through was Dale Thorpe with his young fella. Must be playing a important game, Dale Thorpe. I'm not entirely sure what that one was for, Peach, but I don't know. I'm leaning Cygnet by 4 points.
Let's look at the forensics of it. Let's look into this a little bit and how Cygnet can win the game. I think they have an advantage in the ruck. You've got Lane, who can run off, and we know the capacity of their gun forwards as well. Boscott is, competitive. Livingston, Jennings. I really like Bailey Gordon, but just that tap work of Doreen in the ruck, and the ones there's so many bit part players, well, not bit part players, their Cygnet side, but players that you don't really hear too much around.
Understated.
Tammins, yeah.
Understated. Yeah.
Tammins is one. Zeetson is definitely one. Will Ford, Toby Cohen. There's just so many. I think they're a deeper list. I think they've got the midfield sorted. They've got Thor Boscott, who is such one for the big occasion. And he was best on field in away last year's grand final, even though they lost. He didn't win that medal. He had the most touches. He was phenomenal. But what they have at the other end, Huonville, is two of the most aggressive and capable goal scorers in Mickey Paul and your favourite flowing mullet, the Brock.
Yeah, we can see him on screen there, number 20. He's a superstar. Last game they played, he didn't really get a good look at it. He kicked 3 goals. The one that Mickey Paul played last time they played, he kicked 2 goals for and 2 out
he had
of the
a
full.
Stack of the ball, didn't he?
And if he
he's fit enough. He's fit enough to play a game.
Absolutely, absolutely.
He's got a lot of nicknames too, doesn't he?
Yeah, the
Prince of Judbury,
the King of the Huon, all that sort of garbage. But I think you're absolutely right. I think Cygnet are really underrated. They've got a lot of stars down there. Adam Duggan's one, who I thought played a sensational game last week. We can see on screen there Adam Johns, who came into the side last week and played a great role.
There's Reece Ward there in the jumper. He's not playing
today.
There
he is, the Prince of Judbury, Mickey Paul, next to my little meatball, the 6-inch sub. But I'll tell you what, I've been genuinely looking forward to this game.
But it should be
all week.
There's a proper rivalry between these two teams. For those that go back, the old Huon Channel comp, and prior to that would have been the old Huon comp. This is obviously a merged entity, Huonville, but these two clubs have been down for a period of time as the northern suburbs dominated for around about a decade on the Eastern Shore, with Lindisfarne, Claremont and New Norfolk pretty much sharing premierships between each other for the last 10 years. But slowly we saw Claremont dropping back and the rise of Huonville 4 years ago under Mickey Paul. They scratched a prelim final victory, and since then Cygnet have come back, and congratulations to their club, and they've had a tough year as well. And I think we might see their banner a little bit as well. Yeah, their banner had the number 11 for Ryan Wiggins, and I'm sure he and his family are watching. It's been a big year for the Cygnet Footy Club, and we send our best wishes to Ryan and his family over there in Melbourne. And to be fair, he's actually a player that they would have loved to have running around, not for the fact that they want him healthy and fit, but he's got a bit of X factor, doesn't he, Ryan? But there's some grit about Huonville. Shank, for one, he's just got the foot in his hand as he's warming up. My man, the Barnacle, Reece Douglas. Douglas is another underrated player. Covers the ground really well. Their back line. So you've got the best forward line in the comp against the best back line in the comp. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to come down to, whether players like Cam Johns, Alex Vincent, Mudcrab Keegan down there, and Dan Golding, who played an immense game last week, whether they can get off the chain as we see the boys coming in for their grand final photograph. At times, Tubes, I reckon, when Huonville have defeated Cygnet, it's been because Cam Johns has been allowed to get off. Well, it hasn't been this year, Peach. And they've changed that. And I remember you and I have seen these two teams play, and we've literally said, kick the ball away from Cam Johns, and you've got a chance to win the game, because he would just mop it up off back half, throw his body at the football and do what he needs to do. But yeah, I think they have changed their strategy, and an extra year of coaching from Thor has certainly helped this football club. Yeah, and I think it was a great transition from Ben Cato through to Thor Boscott, and he's done an immense job with his leadership talent too, to get them to this point in the season where they're ready to go. As we see the boys from Huonville, we haven't even touched on Brady Jones. What an addition to their footy side he's been. There's a lot of changes, isn't there, from last year's grand final games for both these sides. Some really, really good ins like Jordan Lane. I tell you what I really like about this Huonville side, or the addition from last time, and that's the addition of this man, Billy Lamprell, the coach. I've watched Huonville the last 4 weeks in a row. This is my 5th week in a row of calling Huonville, and he stiffens them up. He is a real leader back and down back, and I tell you what, his ability to read the play, I'm not sure there's anyone out on the field other than perhaps Cam Johns or Alex Vincent that can potentially read the ball as well as he does. He's sensational. So a bit also just with Ward out, Mitch Walker will have to play a bigger role in the ruck. We obviously know he's a William Leach medalist, and he played predominantly in the ruck the year he won that medal. But Yeah, I agree with you. We'll probably just head down, won't we?
Yeah, we'll head over to Brent Costello now for the Australian National Anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to North Hobart Oval for the 2021 Banjos Bakery SFL Grand Final between Cygnet and Huonville. I'd like to firstly acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're meeting today, the Muwinina people, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Would you now please be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem?
What a rendition of the Australian National Anthem on the MIDI file that's pumping out through the speakers here at North Hobart Oval. There's the crowd. They've got the teal blankets. They've got everything they need. It's rain's holding off, Peach. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit warm, a little bit hot under the collar.
You do get excited for these big games, and so you should. Everyone should be excited by a grand final, and everyone should be maybe a little bit of addition of excitement with it being the battle of south of the saddle.
Rhys Jennings, the captain, coming in from Cygnet, coming in to meet the captain, Jimmy McIndoe of the Huonville Lions.
He's another underrated player, isn't he, Jimmy? He's going to have to bash and crash a bit today.
Yeah, I think so, Peach. But I tell you what, 300 gamer Rhys Jennings, if you don't mind, coming out to be the leader for his Port Footy Club. I tell you what, I'm at a point now, Peach, where I am so excited. Tossing the coin out there is, of course, Robbie Isles from Banjos Bakery in Rosny. Looks like Rhys Jennings has won the toss. He'll kick to the mountain end, or the Horry-Gorringe stand end. The right of screen. There's Jimmy McIndoe just doing a little bit of work with the umpires early. No doubt he'll have to do that halfway.
He's talking still, Jimmy.
Yeah. A ceremonial coin given back to George Callis, the competition manager here at the SFL.
He doesn't get paid that well. He probably needs it. No, I'm joking.
Well, we can see the Cygnet boys. Look at them.
They're tight group, aren't they?
They really are.
The Southern Storm have already won the Colts today. And we saw an easy victory for Lindisfarne over in Norfolk in the Reserves Grand Final. Now it is the big dance. Oh. And it sees two proud clubs who have got so much to prove today. Cygnet looking to get revenge from last year, and Huonville looking to create a legacy for their football club. 2 premierships back-to-back and 2 premierships in 4 years. There's a lot to play on. Off to you, Tubes Taylor.
Very excited for this one, Peach, as the Chargers come out to their positions. Looks like Duggan, Jennings, Lister and Lister coming to the bench for Cygnet. Houth, Rawson, Bevan Roberts and Dylan Pickle-Hay coming to the bench. It might actually even be Brody Rundle coming off for a spell to start the game on the bench.
Is that Penny as well?
No, Penny's out.
Get picked, did he?
Penny's out. Penny was out from last week. It was actually Bevan Roberts that was coming off. So umpire Dylan to ball it up here in North Hobart Oval for the 2021 Banjos Rosny SFL Grand Final. Where are the spot fires going to light up first, Peach? That's the big question.
Boscott's going to hit early. He's going to smack into someone. Douglas, look out for him.
Well, it looks like Thor Boscott is playing in the forward pocket. Big Will Polly is a revelation for Cygnet.
He was good 2 weeks ago, wasn't he, Polly?
And I tell you what, he was down and out. He told me that his knees were no good. He'll never play football again. Well, a testament to that young man.
The game. Wow.
Well, no, not last week, a couple of years ago. Umpire Dillon holds the ball up. And we're about to get underway in the 2021 Grand Final for the SFL. Thanks to Banjos Rosny. It comes down to Gordon. His kick goes straight up and out to space. And we'll see a boundary throw. A bit of an anticlimax there.
Well, Gordon banged in, didn't he? And ended up on his bum.
He did.
I agree with the Polly. Polly in the ruck. He's added some versatility for Doreen and co to do their work around the ground.
So a boundary throw-in on the far side. Walker wins it down, taps it towards Schenk. Livingston's going to get there first. Schenk just pushes him off the ball, burrows in. We know he's a little terrier, Matty Schenk, and the ball will be held up in the centre of North Hobart Oval on the Ryde Street side.
How appropriate that Matty Schenk gets a ball and then gets tackled and then gets his head pushed into the turf to start his day off.
Polly versus Walker. Walker wins it down only as far as Livingston. Real high up and under. Getting under the footy here. Nice fist away by Tammins. Fisted away again there down towards Barnett. Barnett gets it to Walker. Walker wheels around. Kicks it out wide. Schenk all by himself. Looks inboard. He's got Jones in the inside, but Gordon takes the mark and saves the day for the Port. He runs off and handballs off to a running man. Now coming up to meet the footy. Jordan Lane takes it out in front. Now a chance for Zeitson. He pops it up. They're two best mates. They know each other really well. Zeitson with the 1-2. Has the time to go back and get it. John's just a little too far away from him to get a fist at the footy. Zeitson.
Great run from Zeitson, wasn't it? He just got in front of Johns. And he's on the replay. Juggling mark. If Johns had been a step closer, he could have spoilt that second attempt from Zeitson. And he's just in range. We know he can kick it from just outside 50.
In comes James Zeitson. The back come forward. Wheels inside to give himself a bit more room. He's got the journey. Has he got the accuracy? No, across the face of goal. Through for a behind. So Zeitson with the first score of the game. Johns to bring it out for the Huonville Lions. Keegan leads for him here on this near side. He decides against that.
They're certainly coming down this side of the ground. So they're going to use the tiered side.
Dean got pushed under the footy by Jones. Jones very quickly with a dinky sort of kick, didn't go anywhere. Now a chance for Gordon, gets it off to Cohen. Cohen runs into trouble. Gordon kept going. Now a chance to get the ball out. Is that holding the footy? Umpire said no. Big tackle laid on Thorpe. And we'll see a ball up.
Will Ford was outstanding then. He came in and smacked in to the pack. And here it is here. Bang.
So hot start to the footy early. The two 23s do battle. Down it goes to Jones. He runs straight into Lockie Watt. And the umpire circling will ball it up.
It's a little bit like the reserves, isn't it? Where a lot of contests, and then when the ball opens up, it looks really good.
Away we go again. Schenk couldn't quite get it away. Jones burrows in, and we'll see another stoppage.
Taking a while to get off the ground there, Roberts. He was, sorry, not Roberts, Watt. He's pushed firmly in the back.
Going to be a free kick going the way of Will Polly. Polly's going to look up, give it off to Lockie Watt, who's running through the centre of North Hobart Oval, sends it down towards Lane, over the back, chance at the back for Cohen. Lamprell reads it well. He mops up and handballs out of bounds. We'll see a boundary throw-in. So Cygnet doing all the attacking, hasn't been inside forward 50 yet for the Huonville Lions. 3 3/4 minutes gone on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard. Nice high throw in. Lane does battle. Down it comes. Boscott gets his first look at it. Works his man rundle under the footy. Goes back towards Lister. Lister caught one in the shins. Play on was the call. Down on the ground was Mud Crab Keegan. Out the chance now. Lockie Watt dives on the footy. He's going to get a free kick.
Now, you want to be aggressive, I get that, but that was just too much from Vincent in the end.
So Lockie Watt to take the free kick from the half-back line. Sends it down to a spot. Zeitson will fly. Got the fist behind from Johns. Jones got it out and comes back now, and that handball goes out of bounds again for a boundary throw-in.
All right, so 4.5 gone here in a scrappy but hot start to the grand final. Cygnet have had the ball locked inside their forward 50 and their forward 70 for a large amount of time here. Boscott at the front of the pack. Vincent in there as well. Doreen with a punch. Boscott with a flying handle at the Duggan. And that one's smothered. And Nathan Duggan gets his first touch.
You can just see it in his eyes, Thor Boscott, how much he wants this. Just a quick shout out.
You can smell out his intensity.
Gary Matheson, who's watching from Waynfleet, Ontario, Canada. Incredible stuff on Twitter at Tubes.
You spent a bit of time in Ontario, didn't you? I spent a bit of time
lived there for 4 years. Yep. Beautiful place.
Yeah, lovely spot. All right, so Doreen gets his right hand to it, flips it over. He's trying to get the ball in towards Rundle. And he ended up coming over the top. Keegan in there as well. There'll be players who will be calling throughout this day. But it's still locked inside with only the one minor so far to Cygnet. Walker against Doreen. Neither could get an effective touch on it. And now the rush ball comes out. It's going to be a bit of a foot race. Ashland's there first. He taps it to himself. Flying out is
Philp.
I was going to say Philp, who's just come into the side. That's a clever kick. At the back, Brock. Can he juggle it? No, he can't. And it's going to be taken at the back here and through for a minor score. That was about really all he could do in the end. And the first score on the board here for Huonville. So the ball's being brought back in. Cygnet are looking to use George Miller's side. Kick's not necessarily going to help Zeitson. And he's out of position on that one. And Johns has got it, as he will do all day. The long sleeves, Johns. He'll drive it up to half forward. And look, it was a good option from Johns. Philip was there, but unfortunately, so was the white line, and that was in the end the thing that stopped him. Some good boots on there. They're just trying to call the players up the field. There's one lead on from Livingston. It's ignored. They're going to go a little deeper. And then the handball comes out to McIndoe. McIndoe goes backwards to Lamprell. Lamprell's effective. And he finds a bit of dash now. Comes out wide here by Lamprell. The kick's been spilt. It's missed by Paul. Paul could still potentially get this back. Is it shoved in the back? O'Neill in there. Shank comes back in. Hay comes forward. He can't win the footy. Duggan in there. He gets bashed to the ground. Now it's been just picked up by Jennings. Jennings on the tight. And Duggan gets dragged down. The ball up, and that with some intense footy there, Tubes, Taylor.
Yeah, I think so. I think there was an unlucky non-free kick given there. Copped a little bit high, one of the players from Huonville. I think it might have been Bevan Roberts. Nice fist away. Through comes Rundle. Quick kick to a hot spot. Dangerous fist there for Gordon. Coming out to meet it, Philp. We know he's got pace. Is he good enough to finish? He wheels around, and Jack Philp kicks a goal. First goal of the game goes to Huonville after it's been in Cygnet's forward half for the majority of this term. They get an inside 50 and they're able to hold it in. Check it out here on the Banjos replay.
They did a lot of work here. Just this little touch there. Just got off his man and gave himself a little. That's a good finish though, isn't it?
Jack Philp, you cannot give him space because he's electric, he's composed and he's quick.
He's a bit quicker than I thought actually, Phil. Just showing a turn of speed. And Huonville got the early score on the board, and that'll give them some belief.
Cygnet don't need to panic. They just need to hold on to the footy.
Well, Cygnet know they can come back from anywhere, don't they? I mean, that's the confidence of this side.
So ball up back in the middle. Walker doing the work. Doreen got it out. The free kick off the footy. It's going the way of Huonville. Jack Philp to take the free kick. Hold off the ball according to the umpire. He looks up. He's got Dylan Hay leading to him. He looks up. And he's going to send it in the Ward direction. Now out comes Mickey Paul. Don't get in his way. Ethan Brock, so clever, protects the drop zone. Now a chance at the back. Tapping the ball on down there is Lister. And it goes out of bounds.
Good ball movement out of their forward, into their forward 50 then, wasn't it, Tubes?
Huge amount of pressure coming around every single time the ball carrier has the footy. So a boundary throw in deep inside forward 50 here at North Hobart Oval in the Banjos Rosny SFL Grand Final. Quick tap, just got his kick away. Chance now for Roberts. Roberts' handball goes down towards the Prince, and the Prince can't bend over.
That's still
it goes out of bounds.
They're actually calling out in the fall, the crowd, but it did look like it came off the toe of Paul, but he's given a benefit of the doubt.
So boundary throw in, deep inside forward 50 for the Huonville Lions. Most of the goals have been scored in this end of the ground all day today. Little push and shove. Duggan doing a bit of work on Hay. Out it comes now. Tammons trying hard, as is Gordon. Gordon can't quite get his handball away. Gee, it's scrappy stuff early. We want to see a little bit of movement in the ground. They've got numbers behind the ball, Huonville. So if it comes out of here with a quick kick, it's going to be to a 2-on-4 or a 3-on-5.
I'm trying to work out who's playing, because Johns is kind of free at the moment in defence here. If that ball had been cleared, it would have gone to him. But at the moment, he's playing loose player in defence.
Lockie Watt, the kick affected by the smother. So a boundary throw in again. Running out victors earlier, it was the Southern Storm, followed by a 2 Blues premiership in the reserves. Doreen taps it down to a dangerous spot, coming through and meeting the footy. That was great work by Rundle. Might actually be... It's actually Keegan. What's he doing down there?
I was going to say that's Keegan. Man, he's floated forward.
He's used his sideway walk to get up forward. So ball up again. Brock trying to get the footy. Ashland with a quick handball, only as far as Ford. Ford's wrapped up by Ward. And it's a Ward-Ford tackle. $11 minutes gone in the first term on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard. Bouncing ball out the back. Quick clearing kick by Cygnet. Down towards Boscott and co. Boscott just worked to the front of the pack. Philp trying hard. Vincent found the footy. Went back towards Rawson. Rawson got dumped in a tackle. Boscott then threw his arms back. No free kick. Vincent has the footy now in the middle of North Hobart Oval. His kick is affected by the smother. Brilliant work by Lister. Rawson, good user of the footy, comes out towards Houth. Houth looks up. There's plenty of space in front of Mickey Paul. If he looks that way, too late. The gap is filled. So Houth now gets asked to play on. Gee, there's numbers here everywhere.
And
Jimmy McIntyre all by himself floats out into the pocket and shank.
That's incredible. There was 4 players free on the fat side of the ground.
Getting sucked to the footy there, Cygnet.
Just a lack of communication in that back half. And that was a disappointing result, but a good result for the Lions. Doesn't kick a stack of goals, but he's usually pretty effective when he gets close.
In comes Matty Shank, and he's happy with it. They've got 2 in a row. The Huonville Lions, they lead 2 goals, 1 behind, 13 to Cygnet, 1 behind. That's a good kick from Matty Shank.
Yeah.
That breeze, though, working towards that area.
A little bit. They're just struggling a little bit at the moment, Cygnet, as Livingston needs to get on the ball here.
How good's that? He loves it, does Nippy.
As Braden Livingston's going to play on the wing. Doreen in the middle in the ruck. So they're winning this at the moment, aren't they? Huonville. Mitch Walker's been influential. Philip in there as well. Doreen got 2 hands to it. He gets it out again. He's looking to go backwards to Houth. He decides the left boot to Hay. It's a little bit too long for Hay. And it's been chopped off there by Duggan. Duggan then dishes it off. Tackle coming over the top, and the umpire said it's mine. It was a disappointing kick in the end, and needed to be a little bit faster with the handball.
Just too hard, the handball there, from Nathan Duggan to Ford. So Lucas Ford got wrapped up.
So Duggan's just next to Hay. Best position was Doreen. He tapped it down. Jones onto it. Hay now goes back. The ball's been quickly kicked, but they've got the numbers back there, Huonville. They've also got the switch on play. They have to be careful because Johns was coming. And it was just chipped off at the end by Tammons. Tammons' kick is effective. Gets it out to the wing. Livingston further up. Geez, it sat on his head. The colourful yellow shoes. Livingston's got Dance. He goes a bit further past Dance. In towards Lane. Lane knocks it off the ground in front of Shank. That was a little bit better from Cygnet, but still that delivery forward tubes just wasn't quite what they needed.
Very well set up behind the footy, the Huonville Lions, Peach.
Cam Johns nearly got that ball on centre wing, and Livingston had to wait for an eternity for that ball to come down on his head.
I still like that they're biting that kick off, Cygnet. They need something here just to steady them a little bit.
Yeah, Doreen with 2 hands on it and then pushing to the ground. There's a fair bit going on amongst that one, as both players are wrestling for the footy. There's Alex Vincent, who's always involved in those contests, getting himself off his backside. Walker's trying to battle for front position. He misses it. There's a quick snap on goal, and Cygnet have got there first.
Toby Cohen, smart, elusive, knows where the goals are. Brilliant piece of work. The ruck tap just went straight down his throat, and Toby Cohen with space.
You can see Mitchell trying to get front position. Look at that. Cohen just got a little bit of body, a little bit of separation from him. And unfortunately, John's in the goal square, and that's Adam. Couldn't get his hand on it. And the Port had their first score on the board in the form of a Cohen, which seems about right.
Yeah, there's plenty of Cohens down that way, isn't there?
Oodles of them. They just keep popping up. The Cohens and the Duggans, very common names down in the Cygnet area. All right, so Polly's now has come back into the ruck. So the two number 23s will foul it out. Jones gets his left boot onto it first. He clears the ball up. There's maybe a little bit of a push in the back. The umpire said no. Will Ford was in there, off the ground. Hay trying to grab the footy. He's unsuccessful. It's hot now. It's just like a bit like the reserves tubes, isn't it? Just takes a while to get rolling in the grand final as both teams trying to find their feet. Look out for Douglas. Polly wins it over Liam Ward. He'll do a little bit of ruck work. Houth. And that's going to be holding the football.
Good work, Bailey Gordon, to take the advantage.
So he brings it up towards half forward now. Boscott, first positioning. Try to tap himself. Keegan comes over and knocks him off the football. And lastly, out of bounds in front of Alex Vincent. In fact, is he won a free kick here, Vincent? So maybe just taken a little bit high by Toby Cohen, who's trying to win that footy. Vincent's kick, just a strange one, isn't it? Because he had a couple of players further up and in the end went straight to forward. Now it comes back up to half forward. Couple of punch. Boscott can get down there first. He then runs in to Douglas. The ball's now brought inside the forward 50. Defensive pressure applied by Tammans. Running through, dribbling, and it misses Rawson. And at the back, Tammans late. His shot on goal was short and a minor score.
Johns to bring the ball back in for Huonville. They got numbers out wide. It goes to Schenk. Schenk looks inboard. Nothing doing there for him. So he goes long, looking for Douglas, and it lands in the arms of Philp. They've got to do something about this man because he's getting plenty of it, Jack Philp. He looks long, down towards Paul and co. Duggan flew high. Ford couldn't quite get his hands on the footy. Diving in there. Might be Mitch Walker. It is. And we'll see a ball up.
Nearly could have dragged it in there, Mitch Walker, and been pinged. Worked out for him, though. Paul in the ruck.
Mickey Paul up against Polly. Paul out of the ruck. Nice smother there by Ford. Quick kick out towards Gordon. Gordon just gets his kick. It's rushed, and it's going down towards Philp, who's reading the play so well. Umpire says no 50-metre there for a push off the ball. Philp looks short. He goes out wide, finds Rundle. There's a little push.
Close, wasn't it?
Rundle looking to sell candy. No one's buying. Out the back now for Bevan Roberts. Bevan's kick comes in towards a few defenders there for Cygnet. Ward does well. Dean, tough. Out for O'Neill. Tammans, quick kick. Rolling ball towards Livingston. Livingston off to Gordon. Gordon's got to be quick. He is. His bouncing ball finds Philp. Gee, he's had it on a string today. The Clennets might attend Sharon's all mine, he says. Johns, short. Thorpe. Thorpe now. Right on the button. Looks inboard. Nothing doing there. They're just set up really well behind the footy. As it comes out wide now to Lamprell. Lamprell gets pushed off the footy. Umpire says nothing. Nice long kick now down towards Doreen and co. Who's going to get there first? Doreen, clever touch. Johns spins out of trouble. Smart. Rawson gets it out now. It's coming straight back though. Gordon trying hard. Lamprell desperate. Falk spinning out of trouble himself, and a quick kick now down to Ward. Ward gets fisted from behind. There we go again. Touching it out the back here is Brodie Rundle. He spins out of trouble. Quick left foot kick out towards Johns. Johns runs to the paint at 50. He looks up. He's got nothing except Mickey Paul deep inside forward 50. And on the second grab, Mickey Paul takes the mark.
How's he got away from there, Mickey Paul?
Well, there's no pressure on the ball carrier, Peach. So
true.
When the ball's coming in, you can just wait.
Here it is here. So he's had a couple of steps. He was able to get deep inside 50, knock this one down for Mick Paul.
Mickey Paul comes in. Has he got his kicking boots on today? He certainly does. 3 and a turn to the Huonville Lions. And we're out to a quick little lead, an 11-point lead. Cygnet 1-2-8. Trail Huonville 3-1-19.
Here's a kick from Paul. You probably won't quite see the action just before that, but too easy off Doug, and Paul had 4 to 5 steps in the end.
Here's the replay thanks to Banjos. Doesn't he love it too? He's got a big set of arms on him.
He's also got one of the hardest high fives in footy in Tassie. You don't want to get too much in the way of that one. Tubes is on the, just getting his twits going here at the moment. Walker back in the ruck against Doreen. So they're swapping and changing at the moment. Walker gets his hand across to it. McIndoe onto it first. Over the head of Douglas. He'll be involved, I'd imagine. Swinging around there. Phillip gets a tackle. Nearly holding the football. Not called. Brock in there. Brock still trying to keep the ball alive. Douglas comes in late and tries to snuffle the ball out. And he ends up being attached to by Jennings, and there's Howard comes in. And Douglas is involved, some characters.
Bit of barnacle there, just throwing the footy at Reece Jennings' head.
He's involved. He wants to get stuck into this game. Pocket time. A spot where we're seeing a lot of fabulous goals. Brock being held and close checked at the moment. Doreen got in first. Ward then won the footy, got it back again. Missed the footy, then went again. There came Thorpe. Thorpe missed it. Now Cygnet had the football. It's kicked out here. Dance falls over. Walker up strong. Takes a great mark. Walker's got McIndoe in the middle. He's going to go short. A drilling kick. And it's just been missed. And now buttering up and taken out of the fence by Cygnet. Boscott's got a couple to beat. Johns is one of those. It's a poor kick then. Johns has got a player over the top. He uses him. Just going past the middle. Tristan Barnett was in the middle, but they decided to miss him. High. Brock's got 3 to beat. What can he do, Brock? He can do what he does all the time and grab the footy into his mitts. And he'll go back and have a set shot.
I'll tell you what, Peach. The way that Huonville is set up behind the ball, as we said this thanks to the Banjos Rosny replay, that's a strong contested grab. They've just got numbers and a wall behind the footy here. They're not worried about Cygnet having extra players around the ball carrier.
No, I think they're taken on. And like we said, the Huonville forwards are just elusive. This is Brock's real first opportunity. The ball's been on the turf for him for most of the day. And he's a very, very good set shot, Ethan Brock. The William Leach medalist from last year. Can he get his turn going? It's swinging back. Brock has one. And the Lions are roaring here at North Hobart.
Beautiful kick from Ethan Brock from about 45, 50 metres out, just sent it home. And Huonville out to an early lead. They lead 4-1-25 to Cygnet 2.
You saw the second semi. This is quite similar.
1-8, yeah, it is.
And where they lead, well, in fact, it was kind of even fairly early on, but then they had that sort of 4-goal lead for a large part of it. And there's a shot on goal by Brock. No doubt, Boscott and Co won't be too fussed, but Boscott's still not going in the middle. He's down deep. And I'm intrigued why he hasn't thrown himself just for a couple of minutes to end the quarter, just to come up on the ball. Or even a Livingston on there. I really like Livingston in the middle. And at the moment, they've got Bevan Roberts in there. He misses. McIndoe kicks it out to Jones. Jones gets there first. He dishes out a handball to Houth. Houth then has to track back and win the football. The shepherd by Jones, but it's been chipped off here. Now it's been kicked up over the top of Johns. Gordon in there. Now Keegan. And he's going to go and have a little run down Wright Street as he finds the fence a little bit too close.
That was actually Lamprell.
Lamprell, long sleeves.
They look very similar. A couple of bearded older units.
Bearded older units. So the throw up here, 45 out. Mitch Walker's going to have a free run at this one. Boscott tries to apply some pressure. Jones gets on it first. Livingston comes in and crashes through. And we'll have it held up just for a little while. Hot stuff. 24 gone here in the first quarter. The first stanza. Walker wrestles. Jones misses it. Doreen then grabs it. He was the only one left. Lamprell misses it as well. It looked like it swirled a little bit in the breeze and out of bounds.
So we'll see a boundary throw in inside forward 50 for the Cygnet Port Footy Club. Got a couple of rucks going at it. Looks like Jordan Lane up against Walker. The 32 against the 23. That's a interesting palindrome. Out the back, quick kick on goal. No, just through for another behind. So the kick 1 goal 3. Johns to bring it out towards Walker. Zeetson's going to have to fly at this one. Big fly from behind from Walker. Nice little touch there by Watt. Now to Livingston. Livingston out. Can't quite get it. Through comes Watt. Quick kick on goal.
Roberts. Oh.
Hits the post. Lockie Watt.
Gee, Watt's kick then, just as he dropped the footy, I think he thought there might have been some pressure coming.
Johns now takes the ball out towards Hay and Gordon with a fist from behind. Oh, that's smart work by Toby Cohen. That's a good kick too. Johns is going to wrap this one up though. You just can't kick it in the
chance there. I mean, it's not easy.
You can't just leap at the footy. You can't kick the footy up in the air around Cam Johns. He will just leap at the footy, get a fist on it, take a clearing mark, whatever you want.
Pushing his Cygnet. That's a disappointing free kick to give away.
Now the long kick down towards Paul, up high. Gee, Mickey pulled it up there. Now he's down low. Quick touch on by Hay. Can't quite get it out. The barnacle's down there, and that's going to be wrapped up. That's not coming out.
He just tripped over his own feet there, Paul. Look at that fly from the. What? I was about to say veteran. He's not exactly a veteran yet, is he?
Well, we can call him whatever we like. He's got no right of reply, does he? Here's a chance for Barnett. Tackled by Duggan. High up in the air. Shanks underneath it. Fist came late from Zeetson, who's swung back, interestingly.
He's in his heartland now, and he's Zeetson.
Well, he's been playing up forward for quite some time. And I said this to Thor Boscott a couple of weeks ago. I said, what's going on with James Zeetson? Why is he playing up forward? He said, because he's a very good forward, Tubes. Fair enough.
Well, he kicked a few goals in the third round 3, didn't he, against?
Hello to Reed Hooker and his young fella Flynn, who are watching from Coles Bay on Twitter, @Tubes. If you'd like a shout out now, chance for Thorpe. He got his handball away. Ward with a high one out towards Jones. Is that a pass? Sure. Why not? Brady Jones will have a shot on goal. He's looking inboard. He's not silly, Brady Jones.
No, he's a good set shot, Jones. And he'll be enjoying these pockets there. Obviously very shallow.
The old grass throw there. He's got the Clennons might attend Sharon. And he comes. First year at Huonville, he stabs at it and just stabs a bit hard. It's through from behind. It's on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard at Reed. Cygnet 1-4-10, trailing Huonville 4-2-26, 16 points to margin in favour of the Lions. It's a dangerous kick to the attacking side of the ground. That's a good mark. Taken by Lucas Ford.
It's been good this quarter, hasn't he, Ford? He's had a bit of work to do.
Short one's on now. Through the middle for Lockie Watt. Jennings under pressure. Jones, great tackle. Got his handball away. Barnett tackled hard. And the umpire says, I'll ball it up.
Could have been one of those, could have been paid, couldn't they?
Could have been ball, could have been pushed in the back, could have been tackled. Who knows? What a great tackle.
No, that's a fabulous tackle by Brady Jones.
So a ball up here at half forward for the Lions. Down it comes to Dean. Dean gets tackled by Jones. Couldn't quite get it away. Bit of a high tackle. Jones? So it'll be a free kick going the way of Bevan Roberts. Roberts looks out wide. It's going to be wrapped up here. Too easy for Jackson Gordon. And they'll clear the area that Cygnet.
Sloppy kick from a Roberts, not the first time. Gordon's got it. He's going to go up the line. Polly, best possession, Walker! Climbing up and then end up getting it down. Keegan on his knees. Now he gets up and tries to fight for the footy.
I'll tell you what I love about Mitch Walker.
There's Walker. That's a good camera. Great camera.
He just floats across packs and takes marks. His leap is insane.
I'm assuming he's probably similar height to you and I, but yeah, he certainly plays a lot taller. He's also not winning the ruck, but it doesn't really matter. His work around the ground has been outstanding. Samuel Dean's head was squished. into the turf. McIndoe is now back on the ball for the Lions. We're close to boundary line. Walker punches it forward. He gains around 25 metres for his team. And we'll have another stoppage a little bit closer. Duggan's claiming, that's mine. No, it's not. Wasn't deliberate. Mickey Paul, what a matchup.
Cam Johns is all by himself.
I don't know. Is there two of them? I just feel like...
No, he's by himself.
He's like a mirror. Polly gets front centre. It's been rode very neatly off the pack by Phillip, who's had a fantastic first quarter. Brock and Schenk will chase it down here for the Lions. Brock tried to tap it over the head. He needs to go back and give Schenk a little bit of a hand. And he couldn't get back. We nearly ended up. And now the chase is on. Tammins now has a bounce. Looks up. Goes a short option to Boscott. It's great work, though, coming over the back from Vincent and spoilt that mark. And that's created a turnover. And Boscott's really down and out at the moment. Although Dance has got it. His first touch. Boscott drives it. Brilliant. Well, he made up for the little mistake a couple of minutes ago. And he stole the ball, and Dance got a touch. Such a critical player. And here we are on the replay. Look at that kick.
Yeah, magnificent.
That's a wonderful kick.
And again, I'm not blaming Schenk for kicking it across the face of goal there. That's just an execution error.
So Lane, he's probably 45 metres out. This is a mammoth kick. We've gone to 31 minutes in the first quarter. Lane leans back, as does the umpire, and Cygnet respond late. Well, they've got their second.
I don't like to say this, but they needed that, Cygnet.
Oh, what?
They needed it. They're now 2 goals for 16. And here's the kick that came in. Look at that. Magnificent stuff from Boscott. Just hit the man coming hard at him.
He's good up forward, Lane. He's also, we know he's a good kick, but it's a tough matchup at the moment. That's Adam Johns is on him at the moment. I mean, it could be said that Cam could run back and play, because they're now playing. They've actually got a player on Cam Johns, obviously at the bounce. But as soon as that 6-6-6 is done, Cam Johns is free again to play the extra man up.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure who is even that player that's moving out. Nice ruck contest, one down. Pushed off the footy there was Roberts. Rundle came in late. Quick little tap onto Thorpe. And it's burrowed in here. And it'll be a ball up. Tell you what. They've pulled out a free kick going to Lister. So Lister's kick goes out wide. Just a little bit too much on it. Just hitting the face with the footy down there was the other Lister. Quick kick around the corner by Tammins. Will be out on the full.
That's given them a bit of belief. And the other thing that's happened in the last 4 or 5 minutes is Thor has had a few touches.
Yeah.
And obviously one very effective touch.
Well, there it is. Quarter time here at North Hobart Oval in the Banjos Rosny SFL Grand Final between Cygnet and Huonville. Cygnet 2-4-16, trail Huonville 4-2-26. Goal kickers for Cygnet, Toby Cohen and Jordan Lane have one apiece. For Huonville, Jack Philp, Ethan Brock, Matt Schenk and Mickey Paul all with one apiece. And it's an intense game of footy here, Peach. There's been some skill errors. There's been some real quality football too. It's been a bit of a mixed bag this first term.
But if you look at the scoreboard, it's probably reflective 2-4 to 4-2. They'll be disappointed. Cygnet maybe a bit more accurate, they'd be closer, but I think 10 points is a fair result, and that's just because of Huonville's ability to win that ball and get it forward to their forwards. They've got options up there, and the one that's jumping at the moment is Jack Phillip, who kicked 1 goal early. Then you throw in someone like Mickey Paul, who kicked 1 from a free kick. Even Chenk's got involved, and Brock. So the main players at the moment are certainly in the Huonville side are having an impact.
Yeah, I think down back too, Jacob Lister's been good. Luke Ashland's doing a good job on Ethan Brock. Will Ford's been good for Cygnet. Jackson Gordon's provided a bit of dash and run, as has Bailey Gordon. Just don't think they're executing their skills well enough.
The halfback's been good, haven't they? Gordon's led them a lot, hasn't he, off halfback?
Ford as well, both Fords, Will and the other one. Apologies.
Luke or Lucas.
Lucas, yeah. All right, we'll take a quick look at the goals on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle property and the Banjos replay. Let's check this out. So this was the first goal of the game.
Goal.
Yeah, Jack Phil doing an incredible job. Just so wise around goals. It was great stuff from him. And as easy as you like, and there's the celebration. He knew that he would get them off to a hot start. He comes back into the side after a slight hammy twinge. There's the one. What a beautiful kick that was from Schenk. Magic goal. And have a look at this celebration. We know Nipper loves it too, doesn't he?
To pull his shorts down.
To pull his shorts down.
Ridden up on him for a second.
Cop a little bit of an eyeful there of meeting two veg. This was a good goal. Toby Cohen, the first one of the game for Cygnet. Just opportunistic, but that's what they needed at the moment.
Love a crumbing goal.
He loves it too. Got the wrists taped like I used to have. I did it to look cool.
What was it for? Stop the sweat.
I'll show you in a minute. Mickey Paul. Drilling one from about 15 out. Took a good mark. Just, again, great delivery from Cam Johns inside forward 50. And doesn't he love it, the big ball? Gee, high fives can
Brock's
take the shoulder out. And then this bit of work from Ethan Brock. A beautiful mark. And a sensational kick too. Tough to kick.
That was a really good mark though, wasn't he? He had two players who were harassing him from behind, and he was able to leap up with those 2 feet. Such an electric player.
And then we saw some coast-to-coast stuff from the Cygnet Footy Club. As we see this one again, thanks to Banjos Rosny. The celebration too. Doesn't he love it? And he turns around and gives it to the Cygnet crowd.
Yeah, that's where Cygnet usually sit, don't they? Just down in that bottom end.
That delivery there from Thor Boscott was immense. Beautiful kick on goal from Jordan Lane too.
Yeah,
so
they've got to find a way to get Geordie Lane into the game up forward. I think he's a player that can be defended effectively by Johns and Golding and co down there. But if they can try and get him one-on-one on the lead, he's a pretty hard one to stop. He's also a very effective kick. Look at that, the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard, Cygnet 2-4 to 4-2 at the moment here in the Seniors Grand Final.
I don't want to understate how good Huonville have been, but I feel like they should be further in front. I feel like Huonville have had the majority of the play. They've been able to just stop it at half-back and keep sending it in. But the defensive six of Cygnet have just been so strong. They're well drilled, Peach.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, they've been really effective going forward as well. But at the moment, it's the battle of the back halves, isn't it? Both back halves have been really effective. Johns and co down in the bottom end, and then Cohen and the forwards down the other end. I'm
not sure whether it's something that both coaches are playing that extra player behind play, or whether it's just a victim of circumstance that one of those coaches is saying to one of their half forwards, hey, you float back. I think it's probably the latter. I think that Thor Boscott's taking one of his half forwards and planting him down back, which is actually causing a player behind play at all times for both teams. But I'll tell you what, it's entertaining footy to say the least, and we're up for another 3 quarters of red-hot footy, Peach.
Yeah, can't wait for these next 3 quarters to show us who is the best community football team in southern Tasmania, with the winner to take on OHA.
I don't know.
In the state final?
I'm not sure, mate. I don't know how that works, but it's going to be a big last 3 quarters, thanks to Banjos Rosny, who've come on as terrific sponsors of the final series. Magic stuff from them to get this up and running. Now, keep in mind, we've seen the last 2 games. We saw Southern Storm run out victors by a few points. We saw Lindisfarne demolish New Norfolk, and most of the goals were kicked at this Letitia Street end, Peach.
Yeah, maybe just check to see what the wind's doing. See if that's turned around at the moment. It was running at around about 20 to 25 kilometres an hour coming just from the Argyle Street end of the ground.
We have any rain coming, Peach?
No, I think we're pretty good with the rain.
Yeah, there's some out around Mount Field area, but that's not coming down here, that's for sure.
No, that'll drop on the back of the Wellington Ranges. We'll be fine.
Oh, okay. There you go. You heard it here first. All right, second term about to get underway. It's a 10-point margin in favour of the Huonville Lions. As the umpires do their final checks of the 666, we're underway. Umpire balls it up. The 223s do battle through with pace for Semi Dean. He gets it off to Gordon. Gordon's got a bit of time and space. He sends it down into the pocket. Lane gets there to the front of the fork. Diving on the footy down there, Zeeks, and umpire circling it. Scoops out the back. Here's a chance now for Lister. Going through the middle. Jacob Lister's got a beauty.
No, it's been touched.
No. Well, I can take that off Jacob Lister and put it down as a point. Touched over the line. Nice fist there from Bailey Gordon. We'll see a boundary throw, and they managed to keep it inside their forward 50. Boscott off to Doreen. Doreen's kick out of bounds on the full.
It's been immense in the ruck, Doreen. Such a contrasting battle with Mitch Walker, isn't it? Mitch, the athletic, smaller sized ruckman, and Doreen, the more traditional style. They've both had an influence on the game.
Now the kick comes out wide. I like this from Huonville. They got some space. Brodie Rundle, we know he's fast. He kicks it up towards Schenk. Schenk's got Tammins hot on his hammer. Tammins slips over. He gets called to play on. Wheels around onto the left boot. Kicks it down towards Philp. Philp's got space. He's got a man on him forward. Ward to Ford. Quick kick by himself. Cohen. Cohen looks up. He's got Zeitson short. He decides to ignore that. Still Zeitson by himself. Now the longer kick down towards Lane. Lane and Duggan. Nice fist from behind from Duggan. Now a chance for Boscott. Does it sit for him? He gets it up. Nice handball. Gordon's going to run into an open goal. Smart work from the coach. Brilliant finish from the young gun, Bailey Gordon.
Just pressure. Wasn't that great for Boscott? He stayed on the task and kicked with that ball in front of himself. You'll see on the Banjos replay here. So, I mean, it was a good contest. Boscott got that initial tap, and just see no one can go with him. That's a fabulous handball and a good finish too from Gordon.
Well, we saw him try and do that for his side last year, Peach, when Cygnet weren't looking like it. He willed himself into the game and really inserted himself. And has he done it again? He's got Bailey Gordon in the newspaper for a goal. Polly, Watt, kicked off the ground. Jones dives on the footy out to Walker. Walker gets his handball back to Houth. Houth got attacked there by Dean. Now a chance for Lockie Watt. His handball goes out wide. Cohen. Cohen spins around down towards Zeitson. Zeitson takes a mark in front of Johns.
So here's that move. He's gone from back to forward already, Zeitson.
Zeitson's kick goes long and deep down towards Lane and Doreen. They get in each other's way. Doreen claims the mark. And then Thor Boscott comes and sits on his head. And we'll see a ball up. A little bit of rain coming, I think, Peach.
Yeah, we've got just a light shower.
They don't realise that we're all waterproof. Speaking of waterproof Booth got a grand final win a couple of weeks ago. That's almost a mark. McIndoe. Now Schenk with a bit of space. Gets tackled. Nice tackle by Ford. Now a chance there. Well done, Paddy O'Neill. Gets it up. Here's a chance now for Tammins. Tammins' kick goes okay. Lister with a bit of space. Got a handball out towards Ford. Ford's handball's a handball and hope. Now the fist comes in from Lister. Dean runs through a tackle, tries to get it off. Polly caught with a footy. Too slow for a big
handle it, did he?
Someone needs to stand the mark because Budgie Jones will be off here. Jones sends it down. That's a great kick towards Ethan Brock. Just didn't have enough on it. Now spins out of trouble, does Ethan Brock. He's going to get on the end of this one. He'll gobble this up. He loves it. Ethan Brock across the face of goal.
Gee, looked likely. Just his body work then, Brock, to be able to get the ball out the back is just a little bit of dribble. Drizzle coming down now. And that was an opportunity gone missing from Brock. Lockie Watt's been good. Another one of those muscular, tough under players. Will Ford makes the lead. He ignores him. He's going to go out to the far side of the ground. Doreen in front position. Looks upfield. He's going to kick it to the middle. Well, Boscott's going to have to put on a fight here. Gets it to drop of the football. Misses him. Then comes through Jones. Jones has got a player further out. That's just a wonderful use of the footy there from Jones. Thorpe goes to McIndoe. McIndoe didn't really need that ball at his foot as Watt comes in and applies some pressure. He's giving away a free kick here to McIndoe. That was sloppy. Didn't really need to be involved. And Gordon just kind of saying, well, was that a free kick? And McIndoe Tubes, I think he's just within range. Whoa. Very difficult pocket to kick a goal in.
He's going to have to really give it a roost, and the rain's just
it's a little heavier.
Gentle.
It's just a little heavy. Is McIndoe right on the paint of 50. It's going left. I think it's staying left. There's still teammate. Brock tries to go up. Paul tries to get it. And then Paul gives away a free kick as he was charging through and nearly took Bailey Gordon's head off. Fortunately for him, he's still got one attached. And he's still alive to breathe as he goes out towards. And the rain does actually start. We don't expect to be too much. It should be fine as Doreen misses that one. Player just taken without the footballers. Looks like Cameron Johns has won the free kick here.
Quite thick rain now, Peach.
So Johns looking for something. Ward's forward, goes over Brock. Pole at the back, he's got a couple to beat, including Duggan. Out of bounds.
And they scatter.
It's
folks here.
Hilarious, isn't it? But only, look, they're all nicking back up into the grandstands. They're all moving up into the little bit of roofed area just off Ryde Street. I should say just off Argyle Street. Paul to battle in the ruck. And that should be a free kick given away. Just needed to be a little bit smarter than that, as Barnett just too forceful on occasion. So a high kick over the back is Walker. Jones is the recipient of that ball drifting out. Rawson just gets a kick away. Massive clash. And unfortunately, McIndoe, I think, is down. Paul snapper goal. Paul misses. In fact, it's not McIndoe. I think it's Tristan Barnett. That's on his backside. And he looks a little sore too.
It's really starting to come down here. That's a massive contest there.
It's a fair one. So the game is tightening up, and it's not going to be helped by the rain. As in the end, the last minute, Will Ford decides to chip. He's found a teammate deep in defence. High ball. John's in best position. He punches it. Doreen then comes over late and knocks it over the boundary line. And they are properly going undercover now. And there's a couple of umbrellas. Maybe they can use their COVID mask just to protect it.
How good's the seat over there in the car? Just get the windscreen wipers going.
Well, they haven't heard the horn being beeped yet today. They must think they're down at Port Oval, don't they? Down at Cygnet. Walker and Doreen to battle in the ruck. Brody Rundle misses it. Johns goes in, and the umpire's playing a whistle here. And they're going to get a free kick, so give one away.
Lister's free kick. That is Mitch Lister.
It's been good, Lister, hasn't he?
Well, there's two of them. There's Mitch and Jacob. But Mitch has been very good, you're right. Big fly from Lane, can't quite get the footy. Keegan trying hard. Dean under the footy. Just need to get the ball forward. Lister does well. Now a chance out the back for Ford. Couldn't quite pick up the footy. Keegan got it off to Roberts. Roberts goes back there in immense pressure floating around here. Now a chance for Rawson in some space. His kick is a good one, but it's just a bit too much for Thorpe. Thorpe went hard at the footy. Now Brock gets a hold of it. McIndoe with a short one looking for Jones. Jones went flying at the footy. Now a chance for Duggan. Duggan got it back towards Ford. Dean. And now Ashland.
That's great pressure from Huonville.
Huge amount of pressure. Out the back for Thorpe. Jones gets a quick kick, and it's going to bend around. Who's down there? Mickey Paul can't quite clear the footy. And we'll see a boundary throwing.
They've lifted again here, Huonville, haven't they? The rain's just starting to disappear, but it's been a good quarter of footy.
I thought about this all night last night when I was laying awake, excited about this game of footy. I was thinking to myself, if it rains, who does it suit? And I kept thinking to myself, well, does it suit Huonville or Cygnet? And I think it suits Huonville. A little bit of slippery stuff. Out the back, a chance for Thorpe. Can't quite get a hold of it. Now, going hard at it was Dean. Out the back for Mickey Paul. Big tackle late on him, bending back for another
behind. That wasn't far away from Paul in the end either.
He's kicked 1 goal, 2 in this game, Michael Paul.
Look at him. Great bit of camera work there.
Yeah, it's like one of those rodeo clowns trying to tackle the bull. Duggan got his fist at the footy. Doreen up to Duggan. Duggan out to Lister. Lister back to Doreen. Doreen now with a bit of time and space. Looks inboard. Oh, dangerous kick. Schenk. Schenk's got Houth short if he wants. Decides to play on. Duggan went at him. Now a kick down towards Brock. Nice fist from behind from Ford. Duggan went in with the backside. Just got it out the back now. Ashland selling candy. Nice stuff as Brock is down behind plate. And there's a mark. No, touched across the line. Ethan Brock still down behind plate.
He's a bit sore, isn't he? He's getting up now. Looked like he might have just been clipped in the back of the head.
So the range is starting to dissipate a little.
The rainbow?
The rainbow coming across, signifying the Div 2 winners, the University Rainbows in the SFLW. Doreen wins it down. Philp reads the play beautifully. His left foot kick is a good one. Down towards Budgie Jones and co. Dylan Hay picks up the footy. Now a chance for Mickey Paul. He's all by himself. Gee, does that well. Michael Paul protects the drop zone.
I'd say who not there cleaned up was the runner. What's he not got a uniform on for? he was in the way of Paul then. Here he comes.
Beautiful stuff on the Banjos Rosny score replay. It's a 6-point margin in favour of Huonville. The big bull, Prince, king of Huonville, if you like. Whatever you want to call him, he's coming in for his second goal here. Gee.
Oops.
Yuck. Handy point though, Peach.
You love your handy points. I don't know what you're doing. Are you going to accumulate them all and give them as a present to someone?
No. Kick comes out wide. That's a good kick. Livingston. You like it. Looking up, he's got not much to kick to.
That's good.
That is a good kick. Toby Cohen. I was about to say, if I'm anyone, I want to keep it away from that bloke. Philp off to Houth. Houth to Hay. Hay with a kick around the corner. This should be gobbled up all by himself. Ford. Ford goes out wide towards Boscott. Boscott looks up. He's got Lane long. He goes in that direction. Geordie Lane with a bit of work to do. Does it stay in? Cleverly. He gets it up. Nice work by Jordan Lane. Pops it up into the square, but there he is. Cam Johns all by himself as per.
If I was going to build a retaining wall, I'd build it out of Cam Johns's. He'd stop anything. You'd better build the Gordon Dam out of him. Walker dashing through the middle over the head of Paul. Duggan will have to work hard to get back. Paul coming back to try and chase him on. The battle of the big men. And the battle of the boundary wins.
That's great work by Adam Duggan.
He's clever, isn't he, Duggan? He really controls his space well. And he doesn't need to be super fast. But Paul has probably got a couple of kilometres on him, but Duggan has the nous. It's certainly more than adequate battle at the moment. Full house in the Roy Kazali standards, all huddled in there as the rain came. Their seats got wet. He's got a free kick here. And it's going to Schenk. The Schenk on the wrong side, though, for a left footer. He will look to pass this. I'm not sure how he ended up with that free kick. It's a fair way from our action here. So Schenk might try and line this up. He is going to have a shot. You know, he's always going to go short. How's that happen? How's Rundle got there?
Poor marking. Smart.
We're just literally standing there for, I reckon, 2 to 3 seconds without anyone saying anything, and Rundle's going to have a shot. Pretty much the same angle, but from 15 metres closer. Same foot used. It's gone to the right and a minor. That's a missed opportunity, and I reckon Huonville have had 3 really good chances to score a goal. They really should be up by a couple here. They're dominating against the run of play.
Lamprell had his name all over that one.
Hits it out towards Hay. Hay's got 4 poor players to beat. He found the boundary line. That was fine as the rain just starts to come down again.
What about Ashland there? Got a bit of claret coming out of the nostrils.
Yeah, it's might have been a clash with one of his teammates.
There he is. We'll get a look at it.
You'll get the towel. There we go.
Couple of minutes while he comes off.
Just old school. There you go. Use the towel, get it on, and maybe just get a bit of Vaseline just to cover it up. Doreen will get in there first. He got pushed in the back by Walker. And there's going to be another push here as well.
Now, holding him off the ball.
Was a hold, was it? I just missed that one. All right, so high ball. It's going to be a really good contest here. John's up there. He couldn't work it. And just chucking in was Phillip Jones around the corner. High ball. Walker swings over. Can't get it. The rushed kick comes back. Lane in best position there. Keegan gets harassed by Dance. Dance couldn't win the foot in. He tried to run past. Keegan goes back. Dance then flings it out. Jones pickpockets that one to Douglas. It's a free kick here to Jones, is it? And he's got the free kick off half-back.
So Brody Jones copped it high from Thor Boscott. Now the kick out towards Lamprell. He's going to have his name on this one. Gee, the Clennons might attend a little slippery here after some rain. So the coach of Huonville looks to send it up towards Mickey Paul. He's going to fly, Big Mick. Went 1-2. Couldn't quite get it. Forward with a kick into the centre of North Hobart Oval. Going back with a flight. That was good effort by Tammins. Lister gets it off the ground. It's going to be a free kick going to Jack Tammins.
They haven't been forward for about 4 or 5 minutes, have they, the Port?
They'd love to get a goal here to bring it back to 2 points. Now a chance for Zeetson. Gee, he's given that a fair roost. Goes down towards Johns and Co. The two Johns boys get it out through McIndoe. Now to Rundle. Rundle looks up. He's got Shanks short if he wants. He goes in that direction, and that one's out on the full. Couple of let-offs here for the Cygnet Footy Club. So Zeetson, the rain's still falling here. Only a very light shower. Sends it long. Johns all over it. Oh, courage! Courage from Lister. It'll be a free kick, though, going to Johns.
I wonder why this is pretty fair to ask why that was a free kick. It looked like it took him high.
Normally would gobble that up. Now comes out towards Lamprell. Lamprell just strong. Lamprell wheels around. He looks down towards Douglas.
That was a mismatch, wasn't it?
Nice work by the Barnacle.
He didn't touch that ball until it landed in his chest. I think Paddy O'Neill had the first grab. Didn't matter.
Little push off the ball there from Boscott. Does well, does Rundle. Nice tackle. That's caught holding the footy. Brilliant stuff, Sammy Dean. Dean looks out wide. He's got Deadrock here, Livingston, who takes the sliding mark. The Tubes tailor-made famous. Short one's on to Gordon of the Bailey variety.
Look at
That's
that
a great tackle. Bailey Gordon sends it down long. Gee, it's all Huonville lines down here. If they get a goal here, Cygnet, I'm not here. Tammins around the corner. Nice smother from Shank. Shank's got Cohen for company, and that's out of bounds. Is it going to be in purpose? No.
Well, those 4 people over there just huddled under the old boozer and canteen. Just keeping dry. Still plenty of hardy spectators without an umbrella or a coach, just not wanting to lose their seat.
No, smart. So ball in here. Inside forward 50. 80 minutes gone on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard. Walker being quiet. Johns. Kick around the corner. Dylan Hay works his man under the footy. We'll see another boundary throw in. Well, we got what we wanted, Peach. Yeah. It's an 8-point margin in favour of the Huonville Lions.
And I think if Huonville were to win this and overcome the losses throughout the year, they needed to be probably in front by a few goals here at half-time.
So boundary throwing. Hello, if you're out there watching the live stream, thanks to Banjos Rosny. Gordon, just a little dribbler forward. Jones, smart. Gordon, hard. Dean, burrowing in. Then just dragged it in. Is the umpire going to ping him? It rolls out the back. Umpire says, give it to me.
Geez, just for a moment, I thought the umpire was going to go hold the footy.
Circling, sniffing.
So great contest here. Keegan in the middle at the moment. Walker got his fist. There's Keegan. High was Jones. Now, if I said you were ducking into that one, so you're not going to get the free kick, and at the end, Houth comes on and stops the footy from going anywhere. We have got a ripping grand final. It's been tight and tough. Huonville away early. Cygnet have fought their way back. There's a couple of players off the footy. I'm not really sure who gets that free kick out there, because Lister was on his backside. He's getting spoken to, and Lister is getting a free kick. He has a lead on short, and that's far too easy, and Lister has got the mark. That was interesting, because they could have chopped that. McIndoe could have chopped that one off. He let Lister just cruise into this space. Here it is here. McIndoe could have easily come back into that space a little bit earlier.
Yeah, okay.
Just a fraction earlier. But in the end,
on Jimmy McIndoe.
Jimmy McIndoe fan, you just love trying to create controversy, don't you, by saying, I don't like people.
If you're going to make outrageous calls.
Lister, he's directly in front, 45 metres out, and he's kicked the dirty old rascal. That's out of bounds on the full. And into your favourite word in a game of footy, just missed the yellow wheelie bin.
Well, Mickey Paul, I thought he was going for the mark down there, Big Mick.
Kick goes out to McIndoe. He's made up for himself already. He's had a bit of the ball in this quarter too, Jimmy. He looks up, looks for Ward. He goes past him. Boscott's in front position. Douglas over the back.
Barnacle.
Short shot to Shank. Shank's going to have to do a bit of work. He's going to get a second kick. Was he looking for an extra statistic as the ball went out of bounds?
Yeah, he just thought the Barnacle can get on the end of this. I'll just kick it to the Barnacle, said the Barnacle.
Barnacle to Barnacle. It's certainly easy for us if we're commentating. So only 8 points in it, but Cygnet the favourites, probably slight favourites, Polly Naruck. They're currently down at the moment. Ward misses it. Scooped handball. Quick kick. Pole in the pocket. Pole reaches out and catches the slippery Clements. -10 and then gets smacked into the turf, and they're saying it's touched.
Yeah, touch.
Off the boot.
I saw the umpire say touch.
Yep.
Duggan heard the umpire
Duggan
say
heard
touch.
it as well. And the only one who didn't hear it was me and Mickey Paul. Throw in here. Paul gets bumped out of the ruck by Polly. And then throwing that one out was Dean. And Cygnet have cleared. They're up to half forward. Geez, that's what he probably could have done a little bit better job then, Lane. He was a little bit too easily worked off the football. Some chase here, and the ball's been knocked out the back. It's found Watt. Watt's got a further play up the field. It's a clever kick by Watt because he's got Doreen. Doreen's in a foot race here with Golding. He's going to win it first, but then Golding will just tap it back to himself and control it for now. Legs were taken underneath. No, the umpire said that was okay. Now it's back in towards the pocket. And Huonville will just release for a little while up towards half forwards. Goes past O'Neill. O'Neill will have to go back. He needs some help and support coming from his teammates in the end. He just shovels it over the boundary line.
Interesting that Golding decided to keep that ball in the back pocket here, but it ended up working out okay.
It was, as always, Golding looking to be aggressive and keeping the ball alive. Huonville had the advantage on the scoreboard, and Cygnet have got Boscott about to come back on, with Polly and Mitch Walker in the ruck. Jones racing past him. He might get it back. No, he doesn't quite get it. And the umpires, I've actually missed that free kick. Jones has got it.
Hold off the footy, I think,
was a hold off the footy. So there's a lead. Paul in the goal square. They're going to go long. No, it's not. Brock in front. Misses him. Paul's still a chance. Duggan on there. It's now picked up by Ford. Ford's going back. He's going to take it over the boundary line into the dust, and a minor.
So another behind. That's 6 for the term for the Huonville Lions. They're really hitting the scoreboard, Peach, but they can't hit any maximums. Oh dear. That's out on the full. Ford hits it out on the full. Jackie Houth has to do a bit of work to get the footy back on. He's looking for Ethan Brock into the pocket. That's a good kick. Almost the mark.
Look at how many players Brock had to compete with then. They're on top in that defence against Brock, but they're struggling against Paul.
I don't know why there weren't some Cygnet players in that hole.
Yep.
They just needed, that was always going to be Ethan Brock area. They needed to get into that spot. Someone will be watching the live stream and coaching for me as Bevan Roberts bends one back around the corner, another behind. So 7 straight behinds is the score for Huonville. Gordon looks to Will Polly. Alex Vincent will chop this one off. No, too strong, Lucas Ford. I've just got to be a bit more clinical with it here. This is what I like, Polly. Wheels around. His kick goes long. Big fly from Walker. Too easy. His opposition His direct opposition looks inboard, finds Jones. Jones has got many options on the opposite wing. Decides to go long and deep down to Paul.
Look out.
How about that?
The Prince of Judbury.
So strong. Duggan was nowhere to be seen, and Mickey Paul just floated into the area, protected the drop zone. How are you supposed to get around him?
Can't stop that. Once again, the pressure into the forward line, but Mickey Paul was always going to get onto that one.
Wheels around, that's a better kick.
Good swing.
No, late swing. Through from behind. Eight behinds.
I wonder if it's going to rue it. Well, they're going to rue it, obviously. It's grand final. It's 4-10. 10, 20, I should say 14 scoring shots to 8.
Houth ran into Sammy Dean, holding the footy. No talk there.
Well, they take it on Houth. He's a bit of a tuck on Houth.
We know that Jackie Houth loves to lip. So the short one's on here to Gordon. Gordon goes down towards Lister. Lister over the top to Jennings. Jennings back to Lister. No, out of bounds.
Jennings was both annoyed. He thought he'd kept that in, or more annoyed that he ran out of space. Just a bit of feeling at the moment, isn't there? But frustration from Cygnet.
Out it comes. Ward, McIndoe, Paul, buffs the bloke off the ball. Now a chance inside forward 50. Is that a throw? No. Here comes Paul, and out on the full.
You know what? That was such a tough kick from Paul. He probably would have been better off just taking it over the boundary line and flopping, but he may not have known that he was going to get some pressure applied. No Neil's on him at the moment. It's a tight check. High ball up Doreen. Was in front position. Walker then cops one high, but he was ducking down then Walker. But I think they're saying
it was late tackle.
It was potentially a late tackle. As Watt's disappointed, but he does the right thing and keeps his mouth shut. Brock's got about 5 to beat. Couldn't beat the ball. Back over the pack. Sneaking through is Thorpe. What a goal. And finally Huonville break the drought. And they score a goal.
Well, they've been pushing Huonville. 1 goal, 8 in this term, Peach. Let's check this out on the Banjos replay. It was
he was just left alone here, Thorpe.
Yep. Not sure who's playing on him.
And he just did the little dance, straighten up, and a big roar from the crowd in the Horigorian stand. And they've just extended their lead a little bit.
Yeah, it's still only 17 points, Peach.
But they've had so much of the play in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it should be more.
Just really flat, Cygnet, aren't they? And in many ways, I think they were flatter than that first quarter when Jones is really starting to ham it up.
Oh, wow.
Barnett. And he's saying, I'm going to have a shot. Barnett's looking for Jones. Oh, no. Well, has he played on?
He was off.
He's off. Yes, he was off. No, the umpire said he wasn't. So technically, he took half a step to his right. So what a moment. Tristan Barnett from just inside 50s. The sun comes out. And the sun comes out. No, it fades right. Tristan Barnett, probably a fair result.
Half-time here in North Hobart Oval in the Banjos Rosny SFL Grand Final for 2021. Cygnet 3-5-23. Trail Huonville 5-11-41. Goal kickers for Cygnet. Singles to Bailey Gordon, Toby Cohen, Jordan Lane. And for Huonville, all singles, Jack Philp, Dale Thorpe, Ethan Brock, Matt Schenk and Mickey Paul. It's a 18-point margin now, given that behind counts. And Peach, what an interesting game of footy. Huonville are all over Cygnet at the moment.
That last 10 minutes, absolutely on top. And at the moment, Cygnet are in a tight huddle just on centre wing on the tiered side of North Hobart Oval, whereas Huonville are bounding off the ground, feeling cock-a-hoot. But to a certain extent, Huonville could have easily been up by 5 goals. That's the momentum and impetus that they had throughout. We might just chat a little bit about some of the Huonville Lions better place. Cam Johns once again down back. He's such an opposite professional. Greasy Douglas bobbed up and was annoying. Jack Phillip looks elusive. I thought Rundle's quarter there was outstanding. McIndoe started to move more into the middle of the ground. It was a bigger influence. Shenk's always getting plenty of the ball, but the player that I thought really turned it around was Brady Jones. Brady Jones' quality use of the football. He often gets the ball deep. And gee, Mickey Paul, he's one of the best slippery weather forwards I've ever seen in community footy.
Yeah.
When the ball's a bit slippery. Last year's grand final, he was unbelievable in the slippery wet. And no offence, the weather's a little bit slippery and wet down in the valley at times. I've spent a lot of time down in the valley. Every time he used to go over the saddle, it'd be slippery and wet down there. And Mickey Paul's elite.
We're going to have a look at the 2 goals from that turn, Peach, thanks to Banjos. It is what do we got? 18 points. This is the only goal of the turn for Cygnet. And it went to Bailey Gordon. It was smart work from Boscott.
But when this was kicked, Cygnet were up, weren't they? But they just got a bit of momentum late in that first quarter. And they kicked the first, and they were within a kick at that stage.
They certainly were. I think the margin was 3 points. But then it was just all points up the other end, Peach. This was the goal that went to Dale Thorpe. Again, you said it. He's left all alone out the back. They had 4 players going to Ethan Brock. He was able to just sell a little bit of candy and send it home. I think Will Ford might have been playing on him then, and he just turned around and suddenly Thorpe's all by himself and kicked that late goal. It was just a clever little nudge there as well. You look at the scoreboard, it's 16 scoring shots to 8. They've had twice as many scoring shots to Huonville, yet they're only 18 points in front, Peach. Yeah, we see some of the crowd there on screen. Therese is down there. She's got a thermos full of soup, no doubt. One of the big fans from... She knitted that. She did. Just then, in the first quarter. Yeah, she was doing a little bit of cross... What do they call that? Not cross-stitch, it's the other one. Thatching? I don't know. Thatching? That's what you do on your roof, don't you? No, I don't know. Medieval times? Yeah. Just to quickly just chat a little bit about the Cygnet team at the moment, just to find where they've got plenty of good users. Bailey Gordon's been outstanding, but it's more about the people that aren't getting the ball as much. We know Livingston's really dangerous, and also Thor Boscott got a bit of the ball in that quarter, but not getting as much as he usually does. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to cut now to an interview that we had with our major sponsor, Banjos Rosny owner, Robbie Isles. Let's have a listen. Boundary side again with major sponsor of the SFL finals for the men. It's Robbie Isles from Banjos Rosny. Thanks for coming down, Robbie. Thanks, Tubes. Good to be here. I nearly called you Banjos. So, mate, it's terrific that Banjos Rosny's come on board, mate. What's it meant for your business? Oh, look, we've always supported the footy, but I think to jump on board in such a big way has been, it's been great for the Banjos brand in general. It relates to local footy, it relates to grassroots stuff, and that's what we're about. So, and a lot of people don't know that Banjos franchises are individually owned, mate. So you've jumped on board personally this year for the final series. What's that meant for you? Yeah, so we're trying to. So I suppose we are all individually owned. Well, majority are, and for my store in particular, Rosny, we're trying to raise the profile of it. That we are a community store. We are trying to look after the local community, give back to the footy, give back to the people that look after us, and try and form a partnership for the future. So exactly why did you come on board, Robbie? Well, I love my footy. That's the main thing. Needed to sort of raise the profile of the store a little bit, and it just matches up really well. So football, meat pies, Banjos, Tassie brands. A lot of the guys pop into Banjos for a coffee before the game and stuff like that. So we thought it just really marries up nicely. Now you're involved up at New Norfolk Footy Club, mate. How's your season been up there? It's been a bit up and down. I think expectation at New Norfolk is always that we're going to be successful, and that's more external pressure on us, I think. But Cliffy's done a great job with a relatively young group, and people say we're older, but we're not. We're 5 debutants and a lot of new faces this year. I think it's really positive for the future. 100%, Robbie. Well, thanks so much to you and to Banjos for coming on board for sponsor of the finals this season. You get a tip for us? I know. Mate, look, I don't know. I think they're pretty evenly matched. I think you got to leave it there. I think I'm in the same boat as you, Robbie. But Robbie Isles from Banjos, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks, Tubes. Cheers. What a great man, Robbie Isles there from Banjos Rosny, coming on as major sponsor of the 2021 final series here at the SFL. On the LJ Hooker scoreboard, it is an 18-point margin in favour of the Huonville Lions. they kicked 8 behinds in that term, Peach, and the game's really still open up. It's anyone.
Yeah, I suppose it is, but at the moment, you'd want to be fancying Huonville. One is they've got belief. They did it last year, and there's our helicopter again. It's been busy, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've been doing a bit of work.
Let's hope no one in the Highlands got lost. But yeah, I just think we've got to see more out of the midfield from the Port. As I mentioned, Boss got such a good important player. Jakey Dance could potentially run through. He's been swarming. Toby Cohen can get through there as well. They just need a little bit more out of that area, and they're back in this game.
I'm expecting Thor Boscott to insert himself into the middle at the start of the third term.
And I understand why he went forward as well, and I kind of understand the logic on it, but this is where he kind of stands up. This is his moment. He's the gun of this type of footy, this ground, this type of weather, this occasion.
Yeah. We actually caught up with Scott Webster from Clenance Mitre 10, who have come on board last year and this year as a sponsor of the Sherrins for the SFL. Down here, boundary side with Group Trade Manager from Clenance Mitre 10, Scott Webster. Scotty, thanks for joining us.
G'day, Tubes. Thanks for having me here today.
Clenance have come on board after a big season this year as sponsor of the Sherrins this year. What does that mean for your business?
Oh, it's been a great partnership, Tubes. We actually started a partnership last year in the finals. We were approached by the SFL and we jumped at the chance and we went on to this year, and I'm pretty sure it might go on to next year. We've loved being partners with this league.
Clenance Mitre 10, a big part of the south of Tasmania as far as trade goes, mate. Tell us about your stores that you've got all around the south of the state.
We've got 4 stores at the moment, Huonville, Glenorchy, Kingston and our new Mornington trade drive-through, and we've just opened up a new one up in Swansea, which is exciting for us to get up there on the east coast, which a lot of our customers are up there building or shacks, and there's a good market for us up there, and we represent the Mitre 10 brand out there.
Now, I know you're sponsoring the whole SFL, mate, but your young fella plays for Lindisfarne. You're hoping he can have a good game today?
Yeah, I'm probably a bit nervous, more nervous than him, I reckon, too. But, hoping he does well. Lindisfarne struggled the last couple of times against the Lions, but found a bit of form last week, so we'll see how they go.
All right, thanks so much, Scott Webster from Clenance Mitre 10. All the best for the rest of the year.
Thank you.
We also caught up with major sponsor of the Rep Series, Peach, Adam Colson from Hames Paints, a little earlier too, while we're knocking off the sponsors. Let's have a listen to what he had to say. Down here with State Sales Manager from Hames Paints, Adam Colson. I've been calling you Coulson for years. Mate, thanks for coming on board as a sponsor of the SFLW Rep Series this year.
It's been great to be a part of it, giving back to a bit of community sport. It's fantastic and what our business is about.
Mate, the Rep Series was terrific. We saw a couple of games on the northwest coast and then one down here. Our southern girls did all right through the little round robin.
Yeah, they did. Put a team together reasonably quickly over a couple of weeks, but just to have the support of local businesses supporting the local girls and men's teams was fantastic, and something we look forward to doing for the next couple of years.
Now, Hames Paints, tell us all about them.
Hames Paint, local Australian family business, been going about 87 years. All our product is made out of Ballarat and Victoria, and we're a growing business, a fast-growing business here in Tassie, and supporting a lot of local painters.
Well, that's one thing that we've learned during COVID, mate, is to make sure we're supporting Australian-made and Australian businesses. Have you seen that reflected through your sponsorship and through your presence here in the southern Tasmania community?
Oh, definitely, and that's why we're big on giving back to community sports and local businesses, and working together as a collective, and due to COVID, being the Australian brand that we are, has helped business no end.
Well, hopefully we see you in season 2022. Can we announce that yet or no?
Yeah, you certainly can. We're on board for the next 2 years. So.
Brilliant. Adam Colson from Hames Paints, thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Cheers.
Well, there we go. A couple of sponsors that have been terrific in their support of the SFL season for season 2021. Peach, you're an AFL Tas representative in the north of the state. How important are your sponsors?
Yeah, they're critical to all the clubs. And look, clubs are generally pretty financial in community footy. They'd love more money, but it's not the big issue for them. The big issue at the moment is player retention and getting that base a little bit bigger. But yeah, the sponsors are really critical, because for them it's about giving back to the community. But the great thing about footy clubs and what I've observed in 18 months at AFL Tas, footy clubs love their community. They generally do connect in really effectively with them.
Speaking on that, Peach, we've got a little feedback at Tubes on Twitter. It says, how's the commercial manager going at Cygnet? Not an inch of real estate left on that Guernsey. Great 2021 on-field and off-field from the port. That comes from T-Boat, who's been chiming in all throughout the broadcast.
Well, there's actually not a lot of real estate. There's a bit of real estate controversy in Huonville at the moment too. You know, not outside the jumper.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And Jody Brock.
What's going on here? Sorry, no one else can see what we're seeing, but some outstanding gear being worn here by, I don't know, what would you call
Maxi
that?
Gorn. It's a Maxi Gorn costume.
It's some of the worst Maxi Gorn costume I've ever seen.
It's terrible, isn't it? Well, a very interesting game of footy to play out in front of us here. The third term about to get underway as Huonville come out of the blocks from their change room. I'd be pretty happy with what I'm seeing if I'm Coach Tim Lamprell. He's been outstanding down back. I think Budgie Jones's last term, Peach, was sensational. 20 minutes of wet weather footy that he really lit it up.
Absolutely. Jones was magnificent. Just on other wet weather footy, a little bit wet up on the coast at the moment at Latrobe Rec Ground or Baldock Oval. Your two Blues are getting beaten at the moment. 1 goal 9 to 4 goal 6. Devonport make it through in the second semi, and a big win for the two Blues last week against Penguin. I should say against Wynyard. Haven't won a premiership since I think '85. Penguin.
Yep.
They lost 2 by a cumulative score of 7 against Latrobe. So they lost 2 grand finals to Latrobe in the last decade, Penguin. The cumulative score loss was 7 points in those 2 games. So obviously still in touch there. But I actually trying to reflect on this grand final at the moment, Tubes.
Yep.
I think Huonville obviously got the numerical advantage. Cygnet will come back. Cygnet will come back. They have to. They can do. They've done it all year. I don't expect anything different. I expect that they'll be right on top early on. But for me, I can't wait till this quarter to start because I'm really intrigued on where Cygnet or who are they going to start off in the middle of the ground. Can they make a change and start getting the ball out? Because if they do, I think Lane up forward can be a real game changer for them. Zeitson can potentially go forward as well. He's pinged back and forth, hasn't he, at the moment? So
yeah,
they've got not as many options, but I think they've got the better midfield.
Well, they've been let off by Huonville, if I'm honest. There's only 18 points the margin. It's 5-11, Huonville 41, to Cygnet 3-5-23. And I keep coming back to that. 8 points in that term. 9, rather.
9. Yeah. 1 goal 9.
1 goal 9 in that term. Now, if that's 5 goals 5, let's say, this is game over.
Yeah, it literally could have been. And they probably only had 5 or 6 inside 50, Cygnet. I reckon they looked like scoring other than that early goal. They didn't look like scoring on the other 4 or 5. They would rush balls in. Cameron Johns and Golding and Cohen down in defence were easily accounting for any ball that did come in. And then Brady Jones took control in the middle, which on this quarter, the opposite has to be done by Cygnet. They need to take control and start winning the football in the middle and start driving it as we see Huonville. And a little bit like the reserves, mate. Huonville are all set up, ready to go. And Cygnet are literally going to run on the ground and run straight into the position.
We saw the umpires head out to the Cygnet rooms just to get them rushed. And
Here they come.
Come on out, come on out.
And there's their #1 supporter with the flag.
Teresa.
Teresa's got the flag waving. Here come the port.
So they'll have to head straight out to their positions.
One quick chat from Thor just to relay one last little bit of instruction. Here comes Maxi Gorn again.
He looks terrible.
He doesn't look well, does he?
He's got a mask on, though. I'm sure it probably looks good without the mask on.
Yeah, not convinced.
What do you think Cygnet need to do to get back into this game? I think the weather's going to help. The fact that we've got nice bright skies, a little bit of sunshine. It did really get dark there for a moment, didn't it?
It did, didn't it? I'm just looking at... So Dances, he's going to go...
Boscott's in the middle.
Boscott, there he is. So Polly in the middle as well. Dean. Is that Watt too, just on the edge of the circle there?
Yeah, Lockie Watt, Sam
next
Dean.
to Douglas.
Jordan Lane in the ruck. I like that.
Okay, so where's Polly at the moment? He's in the forward line. So Doreen's in the forward line, and Polly must be sitting on the treated stuff.
Well, third term about to get underway on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard. It's an 18-point margin in favour of Huonville. We're about to get underway. Runner already going out for the Huonville Lions. Third term. Started. Punched away by Boscott. Kicked off the ground there by Walker. Dylan Hay, late into this game. Spun around, kicked it high. Big mark taken by Gordon. Gordon looks out wide. He's got
nearly the best, hasn't he, Gordon?
Yep. Instead he finds Ford. And there's Lucas Ford. Ford in short has Cohen. Cohen just decides against it. Now Ford pushes Hay off. Gets his handball into Cohen. Cohen now going long towards Dean. Dean got his handball away just. Pressure came. Dean goes back in to get it. Rundle just hits him off the footy. Ashland gets it out. Now Duggan. Duggan with a handball out to Lockie Watt. Lockie Watt through the middle of North Hobart Oval. Kicks it out towards Schenk and Livingston. Boscott with authority. Goes into the middle. Finds Bailey Gordon. Gordon wheels around. He's got Rundle. He's got the runner in Cohen. Cohen gets his handball on, but it's only as far as Vincent. Vincent's kick is no good because it's all Gordon.
Well, they had the run then, but they decided not to go to lane. It was just a strange play from Cygnet, and that's the story of their day right there. Just haven't been on, but they're still in touch.
Somehow they're still in touch. They're a very quality side, Peach. As we see the ball thrown in here, just forward of the half-forward line for the Huonville Lions. Boscott happy to leave the ball. Handballs over towards Livingston, and it's a boundary throw in again.
Really high-scoring games, haven't they been for the last couple of years? But today's different, isn't it?
Well, I feel like they've all gone in with a bit of a defensive mindset, both sides here. Maybe it's a, I don't know, maybe it's a consequence of the way that they're playing here. Cygnet, Scoopy handball out.
Here he is.
Boscott through the middle of North Hobart Oval, down towards Doreen. Doreen gets his arms free and takes the mark in front of Duggan. Well, he needs to hit this goal, Peach. Needs to. That's a good mark. Boscott comes off for a bit of a spell.
He could do this, Doreen. He kicked a few goals, didn't he, in that game earlier in the year down at Huonville.
And
we know he's a good set shot.
Mouth guard in the sock. Right to the forward plane of 50. Gets called to play on. Goodness me.
Kicked it.
Through the middle. Doreen gets his first. The first of the term. And the very much needed first goal for Cygnet in quite some time.
It's been a long wait, hasn't it, since early in that second quarter when they kicked a goal roving off the pack. But guess who's had 3 kicks? Boscott.
He's on the pine now having a spell. We'll see this in the replay. I'm not sure why he got called to play on there.
Didn't matter though. Maybe he thought he curved around on his run.
Hello to Jody Brock, who's Team Brocky all the way, watching from New South Wales, I believe.
This is the only grand final here in the northwest coast in Australia today, isn't it?
Yep. Big tackle laid on. Oh, a sling tackle. In comes Jones. That's a good kick. Chopping this one off should be Ford. Getting in the way was his teammate. Now a chance through Lockie Watt. Watt goes out wide. Gee, that kick was pretty average at best. Now a chance for Alex Vincent, who ran into trouble. Gets it off to Schenk. Schenk short. Punched away by Gordon. And only his favours his opposition player in McIndoe. Ford over the footy. They've got numbers here everywhere. In goes the Barnacle. That's what we like about the Barnacle. Philp with an interesting kick. Freakishly, the chaos ball inside forward 50. Now a chance for Thorpe. Thorpe gets his kick forward. It'll roll through for a behind. First score of this term to Cygnet, to Huonville. Handy point.
Was an odd kick in, wasn't it?
Ford has it in the back pocket. Now gets called to play on as he wheels around. McIndoe strong. McIndoe wheels round. Right foot kick going deep down towards Mickey Paul. Gets force on the footy. Should have marked that one. Ford. Short. Tammins has to sit underneath it. Well done, Brody Rundle, to get there. Tammins. Short one. Going towards Cohen, who went back towards Golding. It's actually not at all Golding. It's Thomas Keegan holding the footy.
Wow. That's
not sure.
Let's hold the ball on Ward.
Yeah. Ward's upset about it. Rightfully so, I reckon. Nice on kick. Watch Walker fly. Big one from the back. Lister. Smart kick over the top to Dance. Dance runs inside forward 50. Going towards goal. Bang! That's the start Cygnet needed. 2 goals in 5 minutes, Peach.
Bang, bang. Dance can do that. Maybe not quite at his best today, but it was great to see him play on and have the confidence to go forward and kick that goal.
We'll see this on the Banjos. That was a smart kick from Lister. And then Dance to finish. Pressure was on.
Look at that. So because of Huonville's inability to hit the scoreboard with 6-pointers in that second quarter, they've now found themselves
7 points.
Yeah, 7 points, and they've only had 2 minutes of good footy in 40 minutes after a good performance in that first quarter is Mitch. And there's Boscott again. Jones and Boscott, centre wing here at North Hobart Oval. Neither player getting an advantage out of that. Boscott wins it. Dean sneaks out the back. Look at that from Dean. And then just turning it around. They've still got an opportunity. Flying shot on goal. Behind the square. Doreen needs to turn around. It's hit the post. Has that gone through for a goal? It has.
Incredible
bounce. It must have turned left at the last minute. And Port have 3 goals. And they're on top.
Mitch Lister with a beauty. Absolutely brilliant stuff from the young forward / winger.
Yeah, within a point, Tubes.
It was excellent from Lister. His brother,
Let's have a look at
Jacob.
this.
Let's take a look.
So Lamprell misses it there. That's a very clever handball. I generally thought that's gone to hit the post. That's gone sideways. With everything going Cygnet's way, the fans are shouting and cheering here at North Hobart. The sun is out. We're in for a bottler in the SFL Grand Final. Now we're back in the middle. Livingston. He just kicks the ball straight to Mitchell. He then gets it back out the back of the pack. That's probably not a bad option to Phillip, who's playing off half-back at the moment. Watt can't grab the footy. Ford in there as well. Schenk off the ground. Hasn't really favoured his team. There's a bit of a foot race. It's been cleared out here to Boscott. Boscott's a Watt up short. He decides he's going to go to Doreen. Doreen has a couple to beat, and you're just not going to beat too many better players than that as Keegan gets it. Such a competent professional. That's a dangerous kick to McIndoe. Duggan over the top. Duggan can't get it. He's got support as McIndoe then goes to do what he needed to do to start with and grab the footy. He's been called hold the ball. So
Drag it in.
So Duggan has got the footy. He's trying to wrestle back off McIndoe. He gets a handball off. The dash is on. As here come the Port. Runs to 50. And it's gone across the face. And that might just be out of bounds on the ball. Yes, it is. Tell you what, everything's lit to Tubes. The intensity and the effort.
It's a 1-point game, Peach.
We are in a grand final tussle. It's the 2 teams as Johns goes short. Just think Johns has just got to calm things down as Rawson likewise. This is good from Huonville. Just hold the ball up as Lamprell just in front of the Roy Kazali, and a 3/4 packed stand. In fact, all the stands are 3/4 to 80% packed here, enjoying the sun. Duggan got a hand over the top of the footy. Didn't get a clearing kick, and there's Schenk, and he gets it back as Duggan chips it off. Paul is a long way up the field and tries to win it. Great little contest here. Boscott pinches that one. Boscott, and it's Zitza. He's got it.
How's the vision from Thor Boscott?
He's kicked that laterally across. Sensational.
Absolutely amazing.
He said to you, this boy can kick some goals. We know he can. We're going to see what he's like. His second set shot. And there's the replay. And James Zitson is going to be putting them. Can you believe it, Tubes? Could believe they'll be not behind after this kick.
Unbelievable. In comes Zitson.
What can he do as he turns this around? It's swinging back. It's not enough. Scores locked up.
Well, we got what we deserved. After a full long season, these teams are tied up after 9 minutes and 40 seconds in the third term. It'll be Cam Johns to bring it back in for the Huonville Lions. He's got a short lead on in Houth. He sides against that. He looks out wide. Jones leads for him. He instead decides to go down the middle of North Hobart Oval. Punched away by Tammins. Through comes Lister. Lister's kick. No. Chopped off by Johns. So we'll reset. Now Johns goes out wide towards Lamprell. Lamprell's got space. He's got Mickey Paul or Dale Thorpe short. He decides to go to Thorpe. Gordon flew high. Went and got the footy. Handballed over the top to Watt. Watt's quick kick affected by the defensive tackle. Zeetson in front. Smart stuff off the ground. Dribbled through from behind by Jakey Dance.
Dance is getting involved as well. And Cygnet in front.
That's a good kick. Walker takes the mark in front of Duggan, who's spread eagle on the mark. Now gets called to play on. Long kick, G. It's a 2-on-2 here. Gordon flew high. Now keeping his feet was Thorpe. Thorpe got tackled with the footy and he'll get a free kick.
It's been good, Thorpe.
Got a short one on in Bunner Burnett. Instead decides to ignore that. He looks up, down towards Ethan Brock. Mickey Paul flies high. Paul attacks the footy hard. Ashland gets a handball off. Ethan Brock doing his defensive forward stuff. Beautiful work by Ashland. Quick kick towards Cohen. Cohen's got some time. Decides to just bomb it long. Jake Dance has got to fly. Now a chance at the bottom of the pack. No one went at the footy except for Tim Lamprell. Big tackle laid, and it's going to be a sling. Advantage paid to Alex Vincent. Vincent flew high. Now a chance for the Port to repel out through Tammins. Tammins looks up. He goes long down towards Doreen. Cam Johns is going to get there. Nice fist from behind. It'll be a free kick. Which way does it go? It goes to
I think Doreen thought that was his, but his arms are in the air then, Doreen. I'm not sure how he's given away a free kick.
Johns, off to Johns, to McIndoe. He's got Shanks short if he wants. Arriving now is Livingston. That's a long kick. Now Ethan Brock will fly. Flying across in front. Jackson Gordon trying hard. Forward. Ashland. It's a big pack. Now it comes down to Bevan Roberts. The handball up from Rundle. Now off to Hay. Thorpe. Now a chance for Barnett. Barnett's got some space. Off to Thorpe. Thorpe runs in. He goes one way. He gets caught. Does he kick the goal? He does! Brilliant stuff from Dale Thorpe. And they're back in front. Huonville. 6-12-48 leads Cygnet. 6-7-43.
We're going to see it on the replay.
On the LJ hooker.
This is how good this was from Thorpe. So he gets a touch there. Wasn't a bad handle here. Just needed a little bit longer, but just waited off. Got around one. Got around a second and under some considerable pressure. What a wonderful goal.
Wow. What a game of footy, Peach.
It's on now. It's normal. Everything's normal again, Tubes. We're level. These two teams are bashing and crashing and are entertaining us
it's normal.
In a grand final.
This is normal. Ruck contest won down this time by Lane. Lane gets it off to Livingston. Livingston with an interesting torpedo-type punt. Now a chance for Cohen. He sits under the footy. Out the back for Vincent. Vincent's so good. Out towards that man in Bevan Roberts. Gordon just chops it off. He's got to go all the way back. Didn't take possession of the footy. Umpire said play on. Now a chance for Rundle. I think it might be Rundle at the bottom of that pack. No, it's Bevan Roberts. So we'll see a ball up. Lane works Thorpe, Mitchell Walker under the footy. Dean got it up to Gordon. Gordon's kick down towards Doreen. Couldn't quite take the mark. Vincent's forced across the line for a boundary throw-in.
Well, take a breath. It's been a scintillating 14 minutes of football. Cygnet finally getting something on the scoreboard, but then Huonville have responded, and we'll keep seeing this. Walker.
Hold off the footy.
For the hold here, it's going to be the free kick here in defence. So just settling things down. Houth on the lead. Duggan spoils him, and then he reaches out and looks up. And that ball's being smothered again. Doreen gets back on it, doesn't necessarily handball to one of his teammates in an effective way. Now it's swung out the side. There's a shot on goal. They've got another one. Looks like, is that Towns or Zitson?
Toby Cohen.
Oh, sorry, Toby Cohen. Whew. So they respond the Port.
Just want to talk about that second effort from Bluey Duggan, Nathan Duggan over on the far wing. This one right here, he kicked into the man on the mark, went back and got it. That's an interesting handball there. But then Dean went in, got the footy and hit Toby Cohen, and they get another goal. So they're back in front by a point.
So swinging back and forth as Cohen celebrates. 7-7 to 6-12. It's a point to the Port. It's thrilling stuff as Dean out of the middle. It's a foot race on. Johns will get a hand on and he spins around. That's so good from Johns. Johns doesn't necessarily clear it to Vincent. Vincent's under a little bit of pressure. Boscott's screaming out for the football. Now it's going to be worked back again. And the running game of Schenk. Schenk looks up. He goes further up to Houth. And it probably should go over the boundary line in front of Houth. And they'll just relieve what is a fast action flowing game of football at the moment here at North Hobart. It's Keegan. In fact, Lamprell coming off.
And Keegan going on.
Keegan going on. I just needed to stare a little bit quicker into Lamprell's head. Jones rushing and trying to bust his way through the pack. O'Neill was there stopping him, and the umpire's found a free kick. So Lee looked like it may have been a throw. Brock couldn't get it. And swinging back out as Will Ford, his kick should be just out of bounds, I think. Yes, you never know these days. And we'll have a throw up here as some young lad's climbing over the fence. What's going on over there? He's on the roof. He's off.
Yeah, he's gone. Got himself a new Clements minus 10 share, and he's
I'm assuming there's a ball next to the umpire here. Why don't they go and use that one? There's a ball in the pocket. No one's decided to go grab it. There's a kid on a roof trying to find a football. Is that the Buckingham Bowls Club there?
There we go. We got it now.
Right, we're back in action now. That Huonville lad, good job from you. Probably one of the ball carriers. Just let's give it everyone just a couple of seconds just to take a breather in this action-packed grand final. Ward's in the ruck at the moment. They're on top of the ball, and we'll do it all again. The umpire's actually called play, and now the umpire said it's fine.
Gee, I just want to mention Sam Dean. His hardness around the contest today has been sensational.
He's got a bit of Zantuck in that reserves grand final.
Yeah.
He's such an important player. It looks like Phillip got smacked as he... Gee, the umpire's giving plenty of time for the players to be able to get that Clements might have cleansed Sharon out of the way, and they can't. As Rundle, the rascal he is, handballs, and the umpire. There's a lot of players need to get this ball cleared. Lane tries to stump it out, and he wasn't successful. Phillip on there, tight in the pocket, screws it around, but he's not been able to get the energy on that footy to get it back, and it's going to be a Duggan free kick here deep in defence. In fact, it's not Duggan. Boscott's got it. So he's just gone a half back at the moment, Boscott. He certainly got them going, didn't he, Tubes? Those early moments in this grand final. And he's going again. Doreen at the back. It misses Doreen. Jones on his knees. Scoops it out. McIndoe was unsuccessful at picking it up. Looked like Duggan was in there. Just gets it further up to Doreen and out of bounds.
So out of bounds at centre wing here at North Hobart Oval in the 2021 Banjos Rosny SFL Grand Final between Cygnet and Huonville. It's a 1-point margin in favour of Cygnet after Huonville kicked 9 behinds in the second term to 1 goal. Out it comes to Dean. Tried to get around one, got his handball away. Jones got tackled by Boscott. In goes Lister, and we'll see a ball up. Jones is down behind play. Sore.
He's really sore too. He's tried to get up once.
Ankle, I think.
Oh. Wow.
Punched away nicely.
Still down, Jones.
Gordon with a hold off the footy. Now a chance for Dean. Dean gets the footy up, looking for Lane. Through comes Walker. Walker's handball goes into Barnett. Barnett gets tackled by O'Neill.
Is that nearly a driving tackle into the ground as Jones is going to have to come off here. There he is, just limping away. Maybe it's just one of those twists you can just fix up with a little bit of tape just to take that pressure off.
I don't know. Brady Jones is a tough nut. Out it comes for Thorpe. He's been so good. He looks down towards Mickey Paul. Just a little too short for him. Runs into Thorpe Oscott. Bounces off. And then they go back and give each other a little bit of stuff. Now that's a good mark. Ford goes out wide looking for Livingston. Takes the mark. Short on. He's got Lane. Lane with a good one. That's just cut off.
Shank held
footy,
no.
Shank out to Rundle. Rundle leaves it behind. Lane on hot on his hammer, slipped over, did Livingston. Now a kick down inside forward 50, and Gordon does so well. Handballs off to a running forward. Forward with the short one in towards Boscott. Takes the mark, couldn't quite. Then ducked his head, got his handball out, looking for Lockie Watt. Lockie Watt went back. Now Barnett tackled high. Umpire missed it. Quickly it comes out now. He gets the Semi-Dean one on Thorpe. So Thorpe will take the free kick. Thorpe looks up. He's got a short one in. Phil going through there, taking the mark. Great work by Ford. Thorpe. Oh dear. Here comes the Barnacle. It's Barnacle time. Handballs up to Phil. Phil, can he finish? He does. No.
Probably should have kicked. That was a gettable goal.
Scores a level.
Ooh.
Out to Lister. Nothing to kick to. He's saying to Geordie Lane, come at me. So he does. Gee, no one flew at that. Going to push in the back. Umpire said no. Ball it in.
Hela Haddo was the only one who touched that, just on the scoreboard over there on the side of the fence.
Sorry, I had a little cough there. Tried to push the cough button, didn't work.
Is there a cough button? Is that a lot of buttons
just
in front
turn
of us,
my
isn't
mic
it?
off. That's what I do. Have a little cough.
I've been trying to turn your mic off the last 20 minutes.
Just push this button if you want me to shut up. So ball in. Gee, I'll tell you what, Rundle, Thorpe and Bevan Roberts have all played really great games of footy. The big news is, though, Brady Jones is off with an ankle injury. Bouncing ball here. Dance. Got it out to Zeetzen. Zeetzen with an interesting trial.
You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to find Boscott, but just didn't get his fist on it.
So a ball up here on centre wing.
Duggan's fired up.
Well, everyone's fired up. By Kim Dillon throws it up. Out the back, here's a chance as they get it forward. Which way does this one bounce? Gordon, the Barnacle, got tackled. Now the handball comes out to Thorpe. Off to McIndoe. McIndoe with a short one to Phillips. Smart footy. Very, very clever.
It's good for McIndoe. He's been good in this sort of since quarter time, McIndoe. He's had a really effective game.
Phil, so good.
Good X factor about him, isn't he, Phil?
Got the first goal of the game, Jack Phil. In he comes, Jack Phil, to kick his second. Put Huonville back in front. Just trying to do a bit of, too hard. 1 goal 3 in this term for Huonville. They've hit the front by a point.
14 behind, so it's not pretty looking.
Zeetzen off to a running man. Needs to get rid of it. Does Lister. Good one to Will Polly. Takes the mark. Handballs off to Joey Doreen.
How's that? The two ruckmen handballing it back and forth.
Jakey Dance just can't get his hands on the footy. And Cam Johns clears.
How many times has Cam Johns done that? And how many times has Shank been on a wing by himself? He had Hay in the middle. He decided to go a little wider. It wasn't the best option as O'Neill sliding down and takes the mark. They need to respond here, Cygnet, because even though it's a point of difference, they've been behind the majority of the match. Too easy. They can Rappler back here. Well, didn't get it, Johns. Taps it in front of himself. He's the only one there. Mitch Walker will have to come down the flank and try and get that football. A few cheeky people are saying that's deliberate. It was never the case.
That's a smart kick.
Very smart. It's packed in the wet areas. There's 2 wet areas here. And it's just started to cool off everywhere. But this game of footy's heating up. Hot. It's hot. As Shoes Taylor pulls out the dance moves in the commentary position.
I needed to stand up, Pete.
Doreen in the ruck against Walker. Neither could get a successful tap down. Brodie Rundle wanting the football. And then he turns around and shoves the closest Cygnet player he can see. Whoever's in the firing line of Rundle, he's been magnificent. Boscott looked like he might have been held. Walker got that one out of the ruck, got to Ford. Ford couldn't release it. Now it's hacked off the ground. Livingston had a chance. Duggan's going to get there first. Here comes O'Neill coming out. He's got some pressure coming from behind. O'Neill goes back again. Brodie Rundle in there as well, and they hold it up. It's really one-on-one around the ground at the moment, too, Tubes, which often happens at North Hobart.
Like the move of Tim Lamprell up forward now.
Got really good hands, doesn't he?
Yep.
Super leader of this footy field. Duggan somehow navigated through the pack, goes towards Houth. He has to contend with a rolling football, along with a Reece Jennings defensive work. He just did enough to apply some pressure. Now it's being worked backwards. I don't really have too much on here at the moment. Now it's towards Livingston. Livingston knocks it out a little wider. And finally, probably for the first time for around 15 seconds, they clear it, but it hasn't gone far enough. Bashed out of the pack there by Keegan. And the run on here from Huonville. Hayes got it.
Good.
Wide handball on. He can go back again. Thorpe gets to 50. He's already kicked a couple of goals. He looks for Brock. He goes over the back of Brock. Brock then gets pushed to the ground. He claims he was pushed to the back. The umpire said no, he wasn't. Phillips in there. He's only got himself to beat the boundary line. Brock lays a bit of pressure on him. And then he gets pulled. Holding the football. What a moment.
Luke Ashram, that was incredible. He was the one that handballed it out wide here.
Wow.
There's the tackle, right? He laid that tackle. Then Ashram went out back and laid the handball and then went in and put pressure. He was outnumbered 3-1.
Yeah, that was outstanding. Lockie Watt. Now the run on again. Vixen's going to get there first, just in front of us. Finally gets the football in his hands. Boscott's over his head. Dance is in there. Dance can't take possession of the football. This has been knocked back by Vincent. Vincent's kick's effective to Thorpe. Thorpe gets some pressure from Watt. Houth coming in. Dragged down was Watt. Then comes Bevan Roberts. Bevan Roberts and Houth go for the footy. Nutmeg as Roberts goes again. He's trying to feed the ball out. All he does is get it to Boscott. And the umpire said that is a push and a free kick here to Roberts.
Bevan Roberts, the recipient of the free kick. Umpires reversed it.
Oh, is that for chat?
I'm not sure what it was for.
The Boscott's calming everyone down at the moment.
Not sure what it's for.
I think it's actually Watt's free kick.
Yeah, it was reversed. The umpire was pointing at the Huonville bench.
Right. I wonder there was some lip.
Here's it. Oh, that one's just bent to the near side behind for the Cygnet boys.
Guess what, Tubes?
What?
Scores level.
Handy point. Cam Johns looks out wide, finds Vincent all by himself. Vincent's got Rundle short, decides against that. He's got Cal Rawson inboard if he wants, decides against that. And there it is, three-quarter time. And scores are level. What a quarter of footy. 4-1 in favour of Cygnet. In that one on the LJ Hooker scoreboard, it reads Cygnet 7-8-50 to Huonville. 6-14-50. Their scores are level. Goal kickers for Cygnet, 2 to Toby Cohen, then singles to Jake Dance, Bailey Gordon, Joey Doreen, Jordan Lane, Mitchell Lister, and then for Huonville, 2 to Dale Thorpe, Jack Philp, Ethan Brock, Matt Schenk, and Mickey Paul, who's kicked 1 goal for Peach. And scores a level here thanks to Pinnacle Property, the LJ Hooker property specialist. Go and see them. I think if you sell with your property with LJ Hooker and you've got a footy club, you mention it, you get $500 voucher for your footy club. How good's that? What do you think, Peach?
Well, we're going to see some of the highlights here in this quarter. At the moment, It's locked up. What a moment.
You think it'd be heavily Cygnet focused, wouldn't you, in that term?
Got the ball rolling. We kept talking about him, and he certainly got involved. What was really good in the first quarter? Here's Doreen.
That's a good mark.
With a splendid set of hands, and then went back and delivered the goal and delivered the goods. And that was the starting point for the Port to get their way back into this game. And here was the lead-up kick. It just spills over the back here as the handball, I should say the little chippy kick.
That's clever.
And it was Dance on the run who ran into what in the end became a pretty open goal for him. Then it was back to 5 points. And suddenly you just felt 2 minutes of footy, and Cygnet had really got the Rolls-Royce engines of that midfield starting to go again. There was Dean.
I love this.
With a little kick. And it was just a wonderful finish in the end. Cruising around was Cohen. And look at that bounce. And you just knew that Cygnet were in for a decent quarter when you see the ball bounce sideways like that.
Well, Brady Jones is back out there.
But this is the response tubes. This is the elite response from this wonderful team. Hay with a handball over the top to Thorpe. And then he came out the back again, Thorpe. He's been such a danger with a couple of goals. And amongst a large pest of, or nest of swans, or Cygnets, he kicked the goal. And this is the last one. Look at Doreen. Just had a look. No, the local Campbell from Doreen. And there was Duggan Handball. And then another tremendous snap. So a couple of similar goals like that for Cygnet.
Yeah, brilliant stuff for Cygnet to just force their way back into this game. And I tell you what, if you're out there watching on the live stream, do not go anywhere. This Banjos Rosny SFL Grand Final is going right down to the wire. It is scores level on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard. 7-8-50 Cygnet to Huonville 6-14-50. As the crowd just starts to tip a few more in. We've got around half an hour left of footy, Peach. I want you to call it. Which way is it going? You don't know? You just shrug your shoulders. Okay.
I just don't know.
I think we'll be back here next week. How good would that be?
Is it 5 minutes each way? We don't do.
Yeah,
sure, 5 minutes then extra time potentially. For me, it's Huonville looked the better side for most of the day. But Cygnet's year's been magnificent. I think it's a year for finally showing how capable they are as a football club, and the duress that's happened with Ryan, the way they've got around O'Neill, the president, they're going to do enough, I think, today and just get up. But gee, I'm still not sure about that.
Just reading the back of this coach's board here, it says redemption, sacrifice, discipline and competitors on the back of the Huonville board.
You'd have a shirt like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably redemption. That's what I'm after. A little bit of rain starting to come down. I think that favours the boys in the red, blue and yellow.
You were trying to think of the colours because you were going to say...
I was trying to say, what do they say? Do they sing their colours? No, that's the Bulldogs, isn't it? I don't know.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Wow. In they come. Cygnet just getting nice and tight. Huonville heading out to their positions. And it looks like Jones is coming off under the assistance of big Nikolai Housing, big Pumba, who retired after hurting his back and having a year off.
Just a little sprinkle. I don't think it's going to be...
Okay, Peaches.
No, we're going to have a little bit for about 5 minutes maybe. It's not going to help the spectators, but they're pretty warm at the moment.
I don't think it's going to help anyone, is it? Goodness knows which way this way is going. Will Polly comes off for a bit of a spell. Devonport are Northwest Footy League premiers in an exciting finish. Devonport 6-8-44 defeat Penguin 5-11-41.
First
Wow.
premiership since '88 for Devonport. The first premiership out of state league since I think '81, maybe 1980. Actually 1980 they won the WFU Grand Final for those that care.
Thanks to Dave Moore for sending that through. I'm filthy about it. So I'm a former boy, Penguin boy. That's where I played my footy, up on the northwest coast. Not sure what happens here, Peach, but I'll tell you what, it's going down to
Let's
the
have a little snip. Boscott's in the middle. Dean's in the middle. And to start up in the ruck is Lane.
So we're about to get underway. Final term of the Banjos Rosny SFL Grand Final for 2021. Fist away nicely. Douglas does some smart work. Walker trying to get his hands on the footy. Out the back it goes. A big tackle laid, a high one. It's going to be Gordon's free kick against the Barnacle. Gordon doesn't know where he is. That is Jackson. He looks up. He's got Lane out wide if he wants. He's got Dean short. He decides to go against that and goes down towards Doreen. Nice fist from behind from Johns. Walker now with time. Touched on by Rundle. Boscott forces him off the footy. Through comes the Barnacle. Reese Douglas diving on the footy there as Boscott. And umpire circles. Ball up.
I wonder how much of a loss Jones is going to be. It seems like with him taking the tin helmet off.
Well, yes, and given we saw a bit of rain in that second term, it was the Jones term, wasn't it, where there was a little bit of moisture about. Brady Jones did an incredible amount of work. Here comes Philp. Like the move of him into the midfield, and we'll see a boundary throw-in. This is an incredible game of footy.
The question is, who's the fittest out of these two teams? Because that's certainly going to play a role as well.
So boundary throwing. Out the back. Chance now for Walker. He got it off. Bit of run here for Thorpe as this one goes out of bounds again. How good is North Hobart Oval in September?
Yep, it's not bad in February. I like it in February.
Do you? Yeah,
any time of the year.
Doesn't get much of a run in February. Place May for nines here, couldn't we?
Possibly. That's going to kick off soon at the...
Hello to Kimbra, who's saying that it's a sensational game of footy and that we're doing a good job. We've got some feedback at Tubes. Ford, his kick is a real high up and under. Lane did well. Boss got at the bottom of the pack, just shrugged the tackle and kept running. Now a chance for Tammins. Tammins with a short one. Down towards Doreen. He got pushed under the footy. He managed to get it back though. Handball came back to no one in particular. Schenk now running at the footy, tapping it on towards Philp. Philp's handball goes over the top, looking for Douglas. Douglas spins around and just dribbles a kick forward. It's bouncing here for Ford. It lands in his arms. Now a chance to go long and deep. Inside forward 50. Johns at the back. Philp now just with a bit of time. He can really assess his options. He goes out wide. Goodness me. That's out on the full.
Is Philp in defence or actually on the ball at the moment?
I'm not even sure.
He's he may have just moved off half-back. It's the Thor Boscott to Dean, and Dean then delivers it up. And there's about the only spot inside that little bit of patch of play. Rundle lays a tackle, swinging around, and winning that one out was Cohen. Cohen swings it to the right, and it's a minor. And Cygnet have hit the front. They've only been in front for, I reckon, a cumulative of 3 to 4 minutes so far in this game. Johns runs out and brings it back to the broadcast. McIndoe in front position. It misses him. It switches off the back. Ward's going to have to chase it down. He doesn't get there. And then McIndoe pinches it. Somehow gets his kick to it. And then O'Neill with a clever mark in the right spot.
Oh dear.
Look out, Brock gets this. Brock does it. He can turn it around. He's got Mickey Paul in the square. He's calling for it. Ball goes higher. He's got Duggan at feet. Paul's going to get this. Paul couldn't get it. And a punch through from behind. It's locked up again. Maybe just needed to be a fraction quicker with that delivery inside as the rain's starting to come, and O'Neill's got the football in his hands, and he's going to go short to Dean. I should say to Watt. Lachlan Watt has got Boscott on the wing. He's going to deliver it up to him now. He's got McIndoe on him, and he chases hard and gets it on his chest.
He willed himself to that contest.
Did he ever? Zeetson climbs, and it's good. He's surely played on. He has as he runs around Johns. And he runs around again. Is he going to have a shot from 50? Driving towards home. Is he done it, Zeetson? Yes! What a goal.
Incredible stuff from Cygnet. Brilliant piece of work by Boscott to will himself to that footy.
It was. Yeah, he made it his footy, didn't he?
He really did. He willed himself. He was pointing to the area.
That's a
and
great
the finish from Zeetson from 50.
And a good little bit of work from Dance in the goal square. And is that the moment that there's a sense that the momentum swung back as Boscott quickly off and takes a drink.
So now Joey Doreen in the middle, up against Mitch Walker. 5 minutes gone on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard. It's a 6-point margin in favour of Cygnet. Ball up in the middle. Clever touch on. Now a chance for Phil. He gets held off the footy. Well done. Lister just got a little nervous there as Jack Philp looks up. He's got the barnacle in the pocket. There he is. Couldn't quite take the mark. He keeps his feet though and he goes back. Here's a chance for Douglas. He sprays it out of bounds on the full.
Just a bit of a shout out to Joshy Turnbull, who's if Huonville wins, going to throw a fair bit of money over the bar down there at Huonville. That's been shared by David Milne, the president at South Lonnie Juniors. He's done a bit of work in the community recently.
Nice long kick out from Duggan. Here's a chance now at the back for Lister. Needs to get on his boot. He does. Only as far as Vincent. Vincent goes back. He's got some time here. Handballs over the top to Rawson. Rawson looks up. He goes long. Down towards that man there.
He's been good, hasn't he?
O'Neill's been excellent. The short one's on here. Chance for Tammins. Tammins looks inboard. Goes back to Jennings. Looks up. Sends it long. Who's going to get there? No one's home except for this man, Zeekson. And James Zeekson looks up. He goes out wide. Not sure why he needed to do that. He could have had another goal. Lane just fell onto the footy. Now a chance for that man, Lister. Lister gets it off. Nice tackle laid by Livingston. Umpire says play on. Back for Walker. Philp, quick, clever kick underground. Johns just tapped it on. Looking for a teammate in Vincent. Vincent kicks in Hope. Now a chance as the Huonville Lions get it out towards Schenk. Schenk looks up. He goes long down towards Douglas. Oh, defensive work from the Ford brothers. Brilliant stuff. Keeping his feet though. It's a free kick going the way of Lamprell for a trip.
From Lamprell.
Lamprell looks up. He's got a leading Michael Paul into the pocket. Hot on his hammer is Duggan and co. There's 3 of them. Ford gets it away. Chance for Brock. Bending it around. It's not going to make the journey. Sitting underneath it's Gordon. Fist from behind. Here's a chance for Pickle Hay. Hay got tackled hard. Umpire says play on. Down there in the pocket. It's tough stuff. It's going to be held up. And it will be a ball up.
Remember Dylan Hay last year at the other end of the ground, kicked 2 goals in that last quarter in the slot. And he looked like he was going to get them back. Gee, they're not going to give up Huonville. They're only down by a kick. It's a ripper.
Hello to Jesse Selbatros, who's watching from Melbourne. Nice fist from Michael Paul, just kicking it out of the mid-air. Gee, is that going to be called deliberate?
No way. No way.
Umpire says ball it in. Gee,
Douglas nearly had it off the ground as well.
So a boundary throw in deep inside forward 50 for Huonville. I'm actually on the edge of my seat here, Pete.
I can tell you're agitated.
I love it.
Or excited, I'm not sure.
Excited. I'm a bit of both, to be honest. Tap down, nicely done. Walker with a clever touch. Boscott gets a nice shepherd. That's a clever handball over the top. Running man is forward. That kick, though, not sure why that went there. Now a chance as they move the ball through the middle of the oval. Rundle ran under the footy. Lister's holding him. That's a great tackle. Now a chance for Jake Dance. He goes down towards Lane. Lane can't quite get there. He spins out of trouble. He runs in. He's got an open goal. He sends it home.
Wow, the mistake in the middle and then the brilliance of Lane. Whew. Just has done a couple of things in this quarter and in this game which have been elite.
Holding up through the midriff. How about that tackle from Mitchell Lister?
Look at this from Dance. That's a brilliant kick.
Well, he could have marked that.
Look at that spin.
Yeah, strength again through
Johns
the
is not an easy play to get away from.
And Geordie Lane gets his second. They shoot out to a 12-point lead. And the rain keeps falling. Out the back, now a chance for Boscott. He sends a little 6-iron straight down towards his half-forward line. Bouncing ball for Livingston. It's cut off by Vincent. Vincent goes into the middle. There's about 3 or 4 lines here. They could raffle it. It's taken by Walker. Walker looks up. He's got a leading Mickey Paul. Mickey Paul gobbled that one up. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal. He's kicked 1 goal forward today and then out on the full.
He just missed that one which went left in this same spot in the second quarter. So he knows what to do. Your eucalyptus tree is stationary at the moment.
No breeze.
Maybe just koala up there shaking it before, or a drop bed.
Drop bed, probably. In comes Mickey Paul, the Prince of Judbury, the King of the Huon. Can he get his lines back on track?
He's done it again.
Just sprayed it. Another behind to Mickey Paul. Is that a handy
behind or a handy behind?
I don't know what it is. It's a missed opportunity. That's a good kick out to Duggan. Duggan's got Zeitz in short. Chops that off nicely. Reece Jennings is saying, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Zeitz plays on. Sends it long. Down towards Doreen and Co. Flying high was Johns. John just dropped it.
Was it? I reckon Doreen had the first touch on that one, and Johns was the one who ended with it.
Johns has it at half back.
So Johns ever reliable. What a true legend of Huonville football. Can he get his team going up? Walker at the back. He punched it down and was unsuccessful. Dean comes rushing through. It's been pinched off. How did he do that? Roberts now up towards Hay. Can he find a little lift from Hay? Mickey Paul tracks back. Brock's in the goal square trying to wrestle with a couple of Cygnet players. Now he bombs it up. Looking for Lamprell. Lamprell couldn't get it. Falls down towards Brock. He taps the ball out. Bash and crashes. Walker has been hit hard. I think he's okay though. We're going to have a throw up here. It's getting a little gloomy.
I can honestly say I've never, ever had a hit like that where I've got up and walked off the ground. That sort of stuff used to take me out when I was playing footy.
Boscott gets it out. Won't clear it for too long. As it's been chipped off here by Vincent, who's been serviceable today. Vincent wants a lead. He's got a Walker lead, and now he's just going to sit it up in the square and hope for something from Mickey Paul. It's just dropped short. Doreen nearly marks the football. Hay tries to win it, and he's got too many players around him. And a ball off. Everyone on the edge of their toes, because most of the fans are standing in the outer, enjoying some frosty goodness from the local suppliers of the fizzy stuff. Doreen wrestling in the ruck. Scoops out the back. Schenk tries to find a teammate. He can't find Phillip. And now Huonville get it out wide and finds Watt diving on the grass. He gets the footy.
Lockie Watt's been sensational.
He's been beauty. He's absolute beauty today. So Lockie Watt has been one of the best for Cygnet. Walker in front position. He couldn't quite get the football. It's been dished off by Rawson. Walker then rushes it up. Douglas has got it. Might be 50. Might be 50. No, it's not. Sensible call by the umpire. So Reece Douglas has it. There's a lead on. He decides he's going to go long. He's going to find the specialist in Brock. He's got a stack of players around him. Can we see something from Hay? Can we see something from Roberts? It's being dished out the side by Livingston. And now the run is on. He's got no one to kick it to, so he's going to have to bring the ball back in. In best position is Keegan. And he juggles the mark and dishes off to Johns. Johns' left boot is crafty. Not crafty enough, and Cygnet got the ball off halfback.
He's played well, Paddy O'Neill. He's taken a couple of strong marks like that at halfback. He's done a fantastic job. He's got a short one on Doreen. He looks in that direction. The rain really starting to fall. Peach, get the rain radar up. How are we looking? It's got dark here. We might even need some sort of lights on.
Where's Georgie Callis? He needs to get the light box set up.
Yeah, someone needs to turn it on. It's real dark here. Peach starting a bit of funny stuff in the commentary box. Out it comes for Philp, who's been very good. Philp with a nice, long, penetrating kick. Big fly. Nice punch from behind. Can't quite get it, Lockie Watt. Bevan Roberts is down there, scooping it away as Ford. Out now for Polly. Polly lays a nice shepherd, and he kept going, did Ford. That's a clever kick to Geordie Lane. Lane looks up. He's got Jennings running and streaming down, but he can go back and just pop it long if he wants. He's going to have a shot. I like it. I'm having a shot, he says. I've had a haircut this week, and I'm having a shot at goal.
Will he be on the poster?
The lights are on.
After all that, he's gone short.
And he goes back and finds Ford.
Not sure Ford's got it in him from here. Maybe just a fraction too far out.
Well, the rain's going to slow it down. It's really belting down at the minute. Heavy rain here at North Hobart Oval. Long Roost is going to sit at the top of the square. Zeitson flew high. Keegan, the fist came down. Nicely done. Bending it round. Timmins, no way! Great goal! It might even be Lister. Yes, it's Lister.
Jacob Lister in the pocket. Massive moment as we're not far off a hailstorm here.
The rain really coming down now.
Let's see it on the replay, Tubes.
How about this from Lister?
Great pressure.
Goal from the pocket. Brilliant.
And the chant is up as they're all rushing for cover at North Hobart. And Huonville, they're going to have to find something extra. And potentially Brady Jones has got off the ground, has really hurt the Boscott, misses that ball. Huonville with some more brilliance. McIndoe couldn't get it. It's been reached out the back now, and Cygnet will just steady the ship for a little bit. Tammins has got it, and he's goes short. Boscott's there. He wipes the rain from his eyes and eyelashes.
And the Clarence minor 10, Sharon.
And slows it. And looks upboard as a high ball goes up. Johns climbs to the front. He can't get it. Lane tries to go in and get it. No one's that successful with it. Alex Vincent on his knees. And some tight players too.
Slippery pill too, Peach. I think everyone's hoping that the rain just goes away for a bit for presentations.
It certainly is one hell of a match. So, ball gets out the back. It's Duggan in there and he collides. And we're going to do it all again with Thorpe involved. He's been fantastic today, Thorpe, but maybe he hasn't had enough helpers around him. The Cygnet have had all the momentum in this last quarter, but don't write off Huonville because as soon as they go forward, they look really dangerous. Doreen in the ruck. He knocks it out towards Jennings. Gets it back again. Boscott will get on the end of this one. You can see the ball just slip out of his fingers. Rawson throws it out. Looks like Keegan's been taken and he's been taken down and didn't dispose of the football. So Zeitson's with a free kick. He's kicked one in this quarter already.
This quarter's been great.
He had an opportunity to kick another one and he passed the ball off. If he kicks this, it's extremely difficult for the Lions to find a way back. So Zeitson, the tackle applied. And he's won himself a free kick and he's been beaut today. Forward, back, moved around the ground a lot. So James Zeitson has gone short. He's gone to Boscott. How wasn't he being checked? And he's in a better position. He's also a little straighter as well. We're chatting a little bit in here in the box around which might be the best player. As we've got 18 minutes. As we've got about another 4 or 5 minutes of heavy stuff.
Yeah, hit us up on Twitter at Tubes. Who do you think's been best on ground?
Maybe this guy's been one of the best in the second. He's been best player in the second half for Boscott, but he hasn't been across. But it's when it matters. Boscott from inside 50. It's going to get short. It's going to be to the right, in fact. And it's a behind as they extend their lead to 3 goals. That is a handy point, Tubes Taylor.
Exactly 3 goals.
It's going to go towards Douglas. Just a little bit too easy.
He's been great.
Yeah,
both the forwards.
They're saying go long, and he does towards the pocket. Doreen in best position to bounce off his shoulder and out of bounds.
So deep inside the forward 50 now for Cygnet. All the work to do for the Huonville Lions. 19 minutes gone on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard. You're watching the Banjos Rosny SFL Grand Final live from North Hobart Oval. It's Cygnet with a 18-point margin. Hard over the footy. And we'll see another ball up. Stoppage, stoppage, stoppage. We've got at Damien Gill chiming in. Says the Thor Boscott medal. Well, I don't know. His second half has been sensational.
Gilly said that last year. Boscott should have won the best on ground.
No, did he?
Yep.
Hard over the footy again.
And if Cygnet had won, he probably would have done.
Getting a little bit more through the Twitter sphere at Tubes. Rubsy, number 28. That's Zeitzen from Trent Rowlands, saying it's going to be a free kick here to Jennings.
Wow, there's a bit going on there. Jennings is going to go short here. Zeitzen.
Well, there you go. If Trent Rowlands has got anything to do with it.
I reckon Trenny might know what's going on as well.
Bunga Langford at Bunga Langford says hello. Tubes. Will Ford, huge. I tend to agree with you, Bunga.
Yep.
He's been great. Although he might be ripped off for a best on ground like you were in a grand final for the OHA ships this year. I thought you were great. In comes Zeitzen. This really to put a dagger in the hearts of Lions fans. In comes James Zeitzen. Straight through the middle. His second in the term. 4 goals in a quarter for the Cygnet Port Footy Club. And that could be all she wrote, Peach Roberts.
Yep. I think Eden Lighton would definitely say it's done.
Jacob Howard has come in and said Thorbos got easy. It's going to be
about Thorbos got the amount of Ks he's collected over the last 40 minutes of footy.
I just love the way he leads by example.
But he's also his creative disposal too. Some of the Huonville players will be feeling a little bit dejected because the exact same thing happened last year, but it was the other way around. It was Cygnet.
Dean, he's been excellent. Oh, great attack on the footy. Looks like Keegan's down behind play. He's okay, he's up. Big tackle laid, diving on the footy down there. The Port are trying to get another goal. They'd love another one. Here's a chance for Tammins. He's got numbers everywhere. Short one to Lane. Again, just their composure in pressure situations, particularly in this last half, Peach, has been outstanding.
Well, if the last goal didn't do it, Geordie Lane may just do it here. And once again, we look at the scoreboard, 6-16. That first half from Huonville was where they could have had a much bigger lead. Can Geordie Lane put icing on icing?
In comes Geordie Lane. Regardless of this, a point here is a very handy point, Peach.
He's got a handy
He's
point.
kicked it out on the full.
He's got a handy out of bounds on the full, has he? It's going to go down to the old toilets.
Toilets down there, is it?
Yeah, there's toilets underneath that. I think they closed them a few years ago.
You know where all those toilets are, I'm sure. Out comes Cam Johns from the back pocket. They need to get a wriggle on here. Out towards Keegan. Short one's on. Houth takes the mark, sliding. That was actually Dan Golding that hit him up. Let's not understate the job that Luke Ashland's done on Ethan Brock. He's done an incredible job down there.
Yeah, every time the ball's gone in, Brock, he's had 2 to beat.
But Luke Ashland's been right in his pocket all day. You could go through the list. Lockie Watt through the middle of North Hobart Oval. Long kick down towards Zeitzen. Zeitzen gets his hand to it. Chance for dance. And it's out of bounds on the full, according to the umpire. It'll go the way of Huonville. No.
Throw up. Sorry.
Free kick going to Cal Rawson. Jakey Dance not happy. Oh, dangerous. Vincent. Ethan Brock in uncharted territory. Spins around. He's got not a lot to kick to. Boscott will fly, as will Lamprell. Lamprell trying hard. Oh, Barnett with strength over the line. Jennings forward. Jennings just gets a little talking to from Boscott. I love that from Thor.
Barnett's always there, isn't he?
Oh, we love Barnett. Both of these sides just riddled with talent, and they're great sides to watch. Doreen down for Gordon. Both the Gordon boys have been sensational. Vincent gets his kick away now. Chance for Schenk if it slides on. He's going to be out here. Will it sit for him? It does. Schenk with a little bend. Just too much on it, and it bounces out of bounds. The rain stops.
Get a bit more time than Schenk. It feels like there's a little bit of time left in this game still. But, I mean, what's there, 6 minutes left in this grand final? And they've got to get a goal every sort of 90 seconds. But that was a disappointing entry by Schenk.
No one's really stood out in the goal kickers list, Peach. Thorbos got flipped this game on his head after half-time. His influence around the contest has been sensational. His leadership on the ground cannot be questioned. But I tell you what, he's been well supported by Lockie Watt, Lucas Ford, Will Ford. Jackson Gordon down back's been sensational. Sammy Dean, so hard around the footy.
Dean's work.
The loss of Brady Jones has been a big one for Huonville. It's going to be a free kick going to the Lions. Mickey Paul with an opportunity to go back and have a shot on goal. We're in junk time now, Peach. In comes Mickey Paul, sends it home. He's got two.
Is there hope? Not much, but just a slither.
18 points the margin. Here's the Banjos replay.
Thing is, they get out of the middle and they get another goal here, Huonville. They'll have some sort of belief and a bit of motivation, but 4 to 5 minutes left still. Hasn't been a lot of goals kicked in this quarter, but most of the quarters have been gone just past 30 minutes as Oscott's pushing and nudging in that contest. And you're right, Tubes. 11-10 to 7-16. It's been a wonderful day here. And the lights are needed too at the moment. It's quite dark for a little while as Mitch Walker punched it down. Douglas gets taken down by Glenn. It's been that sort of work by Boscott, and he's won another free kick from just pure determination.
Unbelievable.
He's taken a hard nut and Douglas to the ground, and now he's off. He drives the ball, looking for Lane. And Lane takes it on his chest. Little signal up there. Hello. Little high five as well after the mark. And it's going to go back. He's been good, hasn't he, Lane?
Quick shout out to the way out on the wing boys. Hello. They're watching from the Northwest Grand Final in the grandstand at Latrobe. They think Boscott, Jacob Howard thinks, as I said, Zeetson and Lane going up forward have been really well.
It's a lot of questions, and Lane to lace it up from 53 metres. It looks like it's going to be a little bit short. And that's a fabulous mark taken by Walker in defence. He's got Schenk out here wide. He's going to find him first. Down on his Roberts on his knees. Roberts has a handball over the top. The last run of the dice. As Lamprell tries to grab the footy. It's been, these boys down back have been outstanding. Luke Ashland, you've talked a lot about Ashland today.
I'm serious though. His game, every time the ball's gone near him, the people around him are under immense pressure.
Certainly are. There's probably not much time left as Doreen gets in front position, taps it down to Roberts, who spins out. He sometimes gets his boot to it, and Livingston gets the football and he kicks it further up. It's going to come back though. I'd imagine that's going to be a free kick to Jennings.
You listen to the Way Out on the Wing podcast?
Oh, enjoy it. Enjoy We'll Listen to One.
Yeah, we'll listen to
their and there it is.
Cygnet 11-10-76 defeat Huonville 7-16-58 in the Banjos Rosny 2021 SFL Grand Final. It'll be a Premiership Cup going the way of the Port. Goal kickers for Cygnet, 2 to Zeeks and 2 to Lane, 2 to Cohen. Then singles to Dance, Gordon, Doreen and Lister, and both Lister boys had one actually. For Huonville, 2 to Dale Thorpe, 2 to Mickey Paul, then singles to Jack Philp, Ethan Brock and Matt Schenk. What an incredible game of footy we saw here today.
Well, some rascals come on the ground, maybe not technically allowed, but they're going to enjoy the celebrations in Cygnet. They've got the grand final victory, and they did it from behind. They had a lot of pressure in the first half from the Huonville Lions, who got it out to a 3-goal lead. And then come the turn of the quarter, with a little bit of mizzle coming over, it was their star in Thor Boscott who got them right back in this game. Joey Jareen moved forward and looked really capable. Lukey Ashland's work on the back line was outstanding. and a little bit of genius from Zeitson.
Yeah.
But you're going to go down and try and get some interviews.
And get some interviews.
We'll keep an eye on for you, Tubes. Just give us a signal. We'll see who you can chat up with, and then we'll have the presentations. But just wrapping up here on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard, Cygnet are the champions. 11-10, 76 to Huonville, 7-16-58. It's been a star-studded combination of that midfield for the Port. Paddy O'Neill, don't defy his efforts as well, as the sun just beaming across the CBD. Everyone's got a few people having a few beverages out in the ground. That doesn't happen very often at North Hobart. But once again, Cygnet win the SFL Grand Final for 2021. The Southern Storm early got the victory. Lindisfarne comprehensive over the Eagles in the reserves. And in the big one, in the Battle of the Huon, is those two mighty clubs south of the saddle have fought out a classic grand final here at North Hobart Oval. Just to quickly mention some of the better players for Huonville before Tubes Taylor gets a couple of people to interview. Cameron Johns down back was fantastic. Brady Jones injured his ankle some stage in that third quarter, and that meant he had to go off the ground and therefore had no more influence. I thought Reece Douglas really tried hard. Brody Rundle was excellent, along with Tristan Barnett. Alex Vincent, always a classy mover. James McIntyre had a good second and third quarter. Mitch Walker-Naruck was brilliant. And Mickey Paul, on a few moments, looked to try and will his team back, but just had too many defenders around him. Paddy O'Neill was magnificent. I really like Livingston and Jennings. And also Ashland down back, as we mentioned, in the Ford boys, along with Tammins. It was a wonderful effort by a super footy team. Congratulations to the Cygnet Football Club, and I reckon Thor Boscott will be more than pleased.
Down here, boundary side, Peach, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I've got Thor Boscott. Thor, mate, an incredible grand final. The way you willed him across the line that second half, a bit of kiss on the lips from your boys, mate, but how does that feel?
Feels bloody amazing, to be honest. I mean, look, everyone's fucking up and about. Sorry for swearing, but this is just incredible.
What does it mean, mate?
It means a lot more. I know that the big man will be watching this. I hope we did you proud, big man. Yeah, I'm just happy with my soldiers. We went to war and we won.
Sammy Dean, incredible through the middle too. His hardness around the footy, you must be stoked.
He's a bull, mate. I mean, when I first came down to Cygnet, I was actually kind of scared of him. He's that big, but we just put a game plan in place and finally got there. So,
mate, Geordie Lane, Joe Doreen, everyone's sensational, but the Ford brothers off the half-back line too.
They're cousins, I think. I actually don't think they're related at all, actually, but no, they're very serviceable, that's for sure. And, yeah, I'm just going to embrace this. I love it.
You go and enjoy it. You're a premiership coach, premiership player now, Thor. All for Wigo, number 11, mate.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers.
Good on you. Thor Boscott there, premiership coach. Congratulations, mate. Incredible stuff. Let's go and see if we can find big Geordie Lane over here. Geordie, how does that feel, mate? You're a premiership player.
Probably can't really put it into words. We've had a bit of a shit year, but this just tops it off, and it's a bloody good feeling.
Mate, Huonville are a quality side. They were incredible today.
Yeah, they always come. They never stop coming, but we never stop coming either, and yeah, it just feels awesome.
Congratulations, Geordie. Go and enjoy it, mate. There we go, Jordan Lane from the Cygnet Footy Club. Incredible stuff from them to come back, Peach. What a great game of footy, hey?
Yeah, sensational. Great work, Tubes. If we maybe try and sneak another one, if you do, let us know. And we're not far away from the presentation. There's a stack of players around the Port, but congratulations to Huonville. They've had a fabulous year. They came through the prelim final last week. Their battles against these two clubs are becoming epic, and I think it's what this community absolutely loves, that footy is successful.
Peachy, we're going to throw over to Brent Costello, who's going to do the official presentations once the Cygnet boys get down here. But what a great game of footy. Absolutely incredible. Huonville, full credit to them. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite get the job done. A lot of behinds kicked in that second term. But what a great game of footy. Rightfully premiers this year, the Cygnet Port Footy Club. Over to you, Brent Costello.
Well, we've just got a few minutes until Brent gets the presentation going. They're still celebrating as their Bluey Duggan getting a really big congratulations from Jackson Gordon, who was one of the real stars of the game today. It's hard to kind of get a grapple on this one if you're Cygnet after the year that they had, but in this game in particular, let's just go back a little bit towards that first and second quarter when Huonville had all the play, were unable to, and I think Brent's about to kick off in a second. And it'll be very interesting as Tubes Taylor comes back to the box just to see who will be the best and fairest for the grand final. The best player on the ground, we think, he was certainly emotional, wasn't he?
Yeah, down to you, Brent.
Thank you, Tubes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the presentation for the SFL Grand Final in 2021. Congratulations to our premiers, the Cygnet Football Club. Unfortunately, there can only be one winner, and I'd like you to all put your hands together for the Huonville Footy Club on a fantastic season. Well done, guys, and good luck next year. I'd now like to invite SFL President Russell Young to come forward to present the Gorringe Martin Medal, which of course is presented to the best of field in the SFL Grand Final. And this year's winner from the Cygnet Football Club, Paul Boscott. Before we move on to the Premiership medallions, I'd like to invite James McIndoe from Huonville to say a few words.
Just want to say thank you to SFL and Banjos for putting on the whole series, and today, well done to Cygnet. You guys deserve it. It's great to have the footy thriving in the Huon Valley again the last 2 years. Hopefully we can settle it next year. And well done to my guys. We fought hard, it just wasn't our day at the end. Thank you.
Thanks, James, and well done again to Huonville on a fantastic season. Well, Russell's with us still to present the Premiership medallions to the Premiership winning team for 2021. Starting with number 22, Luke Ashland. Number 26, Toby Cullen. Toby. Number 2, Jack Dance. Number 59, Samuel Dean. Number 12, Joseph Doreen. Number 31, the Vice-Captain, Adam Duggan. Number 16, Nathan Duggan. Number 25, Lucas Ford. Number 27, William Ford. Number 3, Bailey Gordon. Number 30, Jackson Gordon. Ran the wrong way, boys. Number 32, Jordan Lane. Number 20, Jacob Lister. Number 34, Mitchell Lister. Number 6, Braden Livingston. Number 1, Paddy O'Neill. Number 23, Will Polly. Number 29, Jack Tammins. Number 10, Lockie Watts. Number 28, James Zeitson. The captain, number 8, Reece Jennings. And last but not least, the coach, Paul Boscott. Thor, I'll get you to say a few words, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, obviously, thank you, Bill and the Huonville boys for an awesome contest. We knew it was coming down to the last quarter. To my boys, let's celebrate.
Congratulations, Thor. It's now my pleasure to invite a man that played in many premierships for Cygnet. He also holds the Huon Football Association record for most goals kicked in a game with 22, and he has life membership of the footy club. Please come forward, Greg Howard, to present this year's Premiership Cup to Cygnet coach Thor Boscott and captain Reece Jennings. Congratulations to the Premiers for 2021.
Well, there we go, Peach. Incredible scenes here at North Hobart Oval as a dejected Huonville Lions walk off. Just a shame that they couldn't put it on the board in that second term. They kicked 1 goal, 11 in the second term, and Cygnet run out victors. After an incredible fourth term, they kicked 4 goals to 1, and then 4 goals to 1 again in the final term to put the margin out finally to...
It took a long time, didn't it, though, to them to get the lead and get that momentum. But, yeah, what an effort. And Huonville would be generally disappointed. They would have come in, they didn't come in as favourites, but they would have come in with a lot of confidence. But I feel that's justified right there, isn't it? The sights we're seeing here is, you know, the team that wins, but that team, I feel, deserves this for everything that's happened this year.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a quality football side. So is the Huonville Lions footy side.
These two teams will be back again. I mean, I don't see who's chasing them. Norfolk and Lindisfarne are still a little way off, aren't they? Lindisfarne,
Dodgers.
I mean, Dodgers are, I still think these are 2 best teams for the next 2 years at least.
Well, there you go. You heard it here from Peach Roberts as the boys from Cygnet celebrate Thor Boscott at the bottom with his 2 danglies around his neck. Incredible stuff. Best on ground. He really flipped the game in that second term. And there they are. Reece Jennings, 300-game veteran. Finally got his hands on a Premiership Cup. Incredible stuff, Peach. Better players across the day. I thought the Gordon boys, Bailey and Jackson, were sensational. Will and Lucas Ford, terrific. Jacob Lister, Luke Ashland, his game was very much understated. I thought that James Zeitson came into it late. Sammy Dean, his hardness around the footy was great.
Dean was great. Yeah, Sammy Dean was really, I was really impressed with him.
Until he went off
strong ass.
For Huonville, Brady Jones was good. Jack Philp, particularly in the first half. Thorpe, Rundle and Bevan Roberts were excellent.
And those guys were good all day. They didn't stop even in that last quarter when Cygnet got on top. Those players were still really involved and engaged.
They certainly were. There'll be plenty of beers flowing down at the Cygnet Footy Club tonight, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Repeating on the LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property scoreboard, it was Cygnet 11-10-76 defeating Huonville 7-16-58. In a great game of footy, the Banjos Rosny SFL 2021 premiers are the Cygnet Footy Club. Peach, thanks so much for coming down.
My pleasure, Tubes. Thanks for letting me in.
Look at that for a shot. Reece Jennings and Thor Boscott. In comes Bailey Gordon. Brilliant stuff. My name's Tubes Taylor. That about does it here for the Gala Day. Thanks to Banjos Rosny for coming on, sponsors as well as LJ Hooker Pinnacle Property, Clements Mitre 10, Hamey's Paints and ID Clothing, or Hames Paints. We must thank the SFL for getting us on board, of course. Thanks to Andrew Harcourt, Hayden down there on the camera, Hayden Corns, and of course Adam Rybel on the main camera. But my name's Tubes Taylor. Until next time, take care. Congratulations to the Cygnet Football Club running out 18-point victors here today. Take care. Bye for now.